Ed Clampett speaking.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. Are Granny and Ellie back from the hills?
No, but they's due any minute, and I sure will be glad to see 'em. Keeping a wild animal fed is quite a chore. Well, no, ma'am, I don't mean Jethro. Ellie left me with his grizzly cub, but he goes after victuals a heap like Jethro. You ever burp a bear, Miss Jane?
Burp a bear? Well, no, Oh, good morning, Chief.
If that's a personal call, leave 15 cents.
If you'd like me to come over and help, I have had some experience handling beasts.
Well, that's real nice of Miss Jane, but Cousin Bessie is helping with the other little critters. Besides, Jethro will be back from the airport with the women folk any time now.
Well, if there's anything I can do...
Miss Hathaway, come here!
I'm afraid I have to hang up now. Captain Bligh wants me. You called?
Where's my morning newspaper?
Well, Chief, I don't think you should see it. It will only upset you.
What could upset me after what I've been through with those hillbillies? Jethro gets his induction notice. Jed buys him a tank. I have to be his tank crew. He dresses me up like Von Hindenburg and I get arrested, and I'm going to be upset by the morning paper!
Chief, everybody in the bank will hear you.
Gosh. This gets out. I'll be ruined. Oh, no!
Now, Chief. Oh, soldiers never cry.
It's so unfair. Jethro dressed up like General Patton and nobody even saw him.
Now, Chief, it's all over. Jethro returned the tank, and right now he's bringing Granny and Ellie home from the airport.
Get me out of this thing! Granny, you're busting my eardrum!
Hush up, both of you. This is the last time I'm ever hauling females in my tank.
Jethro, I thought you took that tank back to where you got it.
I did, Uncle Jed. But when I seen the kind of respect a tank general gets, I had to buy it back. You should have seen them saluting me at the airport. Soldiers, sailors, Marines, Air Force.
Granny and Ellie.
In the tank.
Jed, fetch my medical bag.
Are you hurt, Granny?
No, it's for the general.
I ain't hurt.
I ain't down there yet.
Now, Granny, Jethro's going in the Army. Let's be easy on him.
Jed, do you know what that boy put Ellie and me through? There ain't room in that thing for 4.
No, I am neither.
Did you say 4?
Yeah, we brought you back a surprise. Come on, Pearl.
Oh, Pearl, come with you.
Well, that's what we call her. Come on, Pearl. I'll take you around back, Carl.
We named the pig for Jethro's ma, because it was Pearl who gave it to us.
Noisy little critter.
That pig was the quietest female in the tank.
You're asking for it.
Watch out, civilian. You're talking to a 4-star, 2-gun general.
Oh, take them suitcases upstairs.
Oh, I need me a aide.
First aid is what you're going to do. Jed, how in the name of Stonewall Jackson can the Army give him 2 guns and a tank when he's dangerous enough with a knife and a fork?
Remember, he ain't in the Army yet. Now, this whole thing was my doing.
Yours.
Yeah, you see, I read somewhere that it costs the government between $35,000 and $40,000 to train and outfit each boy. I reckon you know they is having money troubles back in Washington.
I know I got a trunk full of Confederate bonds they ain't redeemed.
Oh, they is deep in debt. So I figured, with me having all them millions in the bank, the least I could do was to pay Jethro's way.
Lots of folks outfitted their own boys during the Great War.
Mm-hmm.
That was the war twixt the North and the South. The yellow and the gray.
Huh?
The gray really won, you know.
Granny, I ain't lifting the lid off of that pot.
Jed, where'd you get that tank out there?
Oh, Jethro found it in one of them surplus places. Got a dandy buy on it, too.
It don't look strictly new.
It ain't. But according to the used tank salesman, it belonged to a little old lady in Pasadena who only drove it Sundays on the freeway.
I thought you said Jethro got rid of this thing.
Well, that was my understanding.
Listen, there's only one way to stop this foolishness. Jethro must be inducted now, today.
But he hasn't had his physical.
We'll pull strings. That nut might decide to win the Navy, and Jed will buy him a destroyer. For the Air Force. And Jed might buy a B-52.
What was that about me buying a B-52?
I was just wondering what you might buy me. I'm going to be 52.
Oh, a birthday. What do you reckon he'd like, Miss Jean?
He'd like to be 52.
Where's Ellie Mae?
She's out back with the pig.
Oh, is he still wearing that general's uniform? Well, speaking of Jethro, he can't go in the Army until he has a physical examination.
I'll get my medical bag and take care of it.
Hi, Mr. Drysdale.
Go in yonder and take your clothes off, Jethro.
What for? I'm going on maneuvers.
I'm going to give you a physical examination.
Granny, he'll be examined by an Army doctor.
Oh, no. It was one of them goomers that killed Jed's cousin.
An Army doctor?
High-ranking one, too. General Peritonitis.
General Peritonitis isn't a doctor.
We found that out. Oh, take your clothes off, boy.
Granny, the Army doctor...
Ain't gonna get their hands on that child. To them, he's just a number. But to me, he's Pearl's baby. And I promised her I'd take care of him. Now, go take your clothes off, baby.
Granny, couldn't you let the Army doctors examine me?
They're too rough, sweetheart. These are the soft, gentle hands of a healer.
They's about as soft as a gator's hide.
Take your clothes off.
By the way,
Oh, she took Ellie and her critters out for a little drive. How's it look?
oh, Mr. Clampett, don't waste your time polishing this silly little old tank.
Maybe you're right. Jethro wants me to buy him a great big brand new one.
It's a beautiful thing. Please, Mr. Clampett, don't buy Jethro any more equipment. The Army will take care of that. They'll train him, outfit him, give him 3 square meals a day. They'll turn him into a real fighting man.
They sure will if they cut him down to 3 meals a day. Where is the boy?
Well, Granny's giving him his physical examination. Now, that's another thing the Army will take care of.
Not like Granny.
Your temperature's normal. 142.
142 ain't normal.
It is if your thermometer has been sterilized in boiling water. Sit down. Cross your legs. I want to check your reflexes.
I got a busted knee.
Oh, how long have you had that? The Army don't like crybabies, Jethro. Now sit down.
They won't even let me in the Army. All crippled up like this.
Sit down before I give you another promotion.
Promotion?
That's right. I done give you 1 stripe. You want a buck for a corporal? Now, open your mouth and say ah. I want to look down your throat. Sit still or you're going to get a grilled gullet. My, what an eating machine. I declare you got more teeth than a garfish. What's the matter with your tongue, Jethro? It's coated something terrible.
That's wax.
I declare you'll eat anything. Good thing there's a doctor in this family. Now, hold still. I want to look in your ear. Just as I suspected.
What? What's the matter?
Nothing. some things the patient is better off not knowing. And now I'm going to take care of that busted knee.
Oh, wait a minute, Granny. Wait. Let the Army take care of that, huh?
Now, you listen to me, boy. Your Uncle Jed is paying for everything else. The only thing I got to offer is my medical skill. And that's going to be my contribution.
Yeah, but what are you fixing to do with the saw?
I'm going to cut you some splints.
Oh. Look at it this way, Mr. Clampett. What if everybody wanted to pay for their son's military training?
I reckon that'd save the government a heap of money. Got a headache?
Yes.
Well, come on in. Let Granny check you over.
No, that is... Oh, look, there comes Miss Hathaway.
Yeah, I hope Ellie and her critters had a nice outing. Must have looked something like that when Noah landed the ark.
Sure do thank you for the ride, Miss Jane.
My pleasure, Ellie. I don't remember that pigeon being along with us.
Oh, no, ma'am. He joined us over on Elm Street.
Another new critter, Ellie?
Just a little old pigeon, Pa.
Go shake hands with another little old pigeon. Miss Hathaway, rush me down to the Army Induction Center.
You gonna join up, Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, no, I'm going to fix things up for Jethro. Pull a few strings. Make sure that he gets in.
Well, that's mighty nice of you. You tell him that Granny's already given this physical, and I'm gonna pay for everything else.
Sure, I'll tell him. Let's go.
All right, boys. You can put your clothes on now.
What'd you say, Granny?
I said you can put your clothes back on.
Well, how'd Jethro make out on his physical, Doctor?
I passed him, Jed, but he's got some bad health habits he ought to break.
Oh? What are they?
Well, for one thing, he eats hot wax.
Hot wax?
Got the roof of his mouth all sooty. Keeps bumping into things and busting his knee.
Granny, I can't get my general's uniform on over these splints.
The splint stays on.
Huh?
I said leave him on! Doctor's orders! And if the knee gets to paining too much, chew some of these gimp leaves.
Oh, gee, Granny, I don't need any of this.
Well, boy, Mr. Drysdale said... Mr. Drysdale said, wear your regular clothes to the Army place. No uniform.
Doggone. I ain't hardly in yet, and already I done been busted back to a civilian.
Well, it seems hard to hear.
I put corks in his ears
What's first?
so the wind won't blow through. I'm telling you, Jed, if you was to finger his ears, blow into his mouth, you could play his head like a ocarina.
Come in. Sir, the young man Mr. Drysdale talked to you about is here, Jethro Bodine.
Oh, yes, he's the young man who's so anxious to join up.
Yes, sir.
By George, it's a pleasure to meet a boy like that. I'm getting sick to my stomach of those draft-dodging, card-binding hippies with their psychiatric cop-outs. They're turning our national symbol from an eagle into a chicken. Now, a boy comes to me who can't wait to serve his country. A boy who loves his country. A boy with blood in his veins instead of flowers in his hair. What's he look like?
Well, he's a big, husky fellow, sir. He looks like he came right out of the hills.
Another Sergeant York. Well, here's one boy that head shrinking down the hall isn't going to Section 8. Bring him in.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bodine, would you step in here, please?
Back, a game leg, and he's ready to fight. You're a real patriot, my boy.
Huh?
Don't you hear, boy?
What'd you say?
Crippled, hard of hearing, and he's ready to serve. Can you see, boy?
What?
Don't you worry, lad. We'll mend that broken body. You've got the soul and the spirit of a hero. Lord Nelson had only one arm, but he saved England. Process him, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. This way, Mr. Bodine.
afternoon, Colonel.
Well, what do you want, head shrinker? You gonna psych out some more of those mother-hating hippies?
No, I came in to talk to you about your hillbilly hero.
Who?
Superboy, Jethro Bodine.
Look here, couch jockey. You're not gonna make one of those Freudian freaks out of this boy. He's got real soldier material. He's the new Sergeant York.
You mean Sergeant Bilko?
What?
I talked to some pretty clever draft dodgers in my day, but this boy is the greatest.
Ah, you don't know what you're talking about. This boy wants to serve. You just haven't been able to communicate with him. He's hard of hearing, you know.
Not anymore. I took the corks out of his ears.
Corks?
Right ear, left ear.
Oh, come on, Doc. No boy is that stupid.
I didn't say he was stupid. In my book, he's a genius. We have had fellas come in here with their lawyers, their mothers, their teddy bears. This boy does it with corks and a limp.
Well, she limps. She's got a stiff leg.
Not anymore. I took off the phony splints.
What do you mean, phony? That boy was in pain.
Sure he was. His grandmother hit him in the knee with a hammer. He's also the one who put the corks in his ears.
Well, that's understandable. His grandmother doesn't want him to leave home. He's the breadwinner. They're poor.
Not anymore. They've got $60 million.
Huh?
They live in a mansion in Beverly Hills.
Then why did he come in here dressed in those old clothes?
I tell you, he is a genius. Get a load of this kid's reasoning. Now, he wants us to think that he's stupid enough, to think that we're stupid enough, to think that he is stupid enough.
Ah, baloney, let me tell you something, psychiatrist. Jethro Bodine came to me recommended personally by one of the most eminent citizens of Beverly Hills, president of the Commerce Bank.
You mean Field Marshal von Hindenburg?
I don't understand this.
It's all part of an elaborate plan to keep this boy out of the Army. I tell you, it's brilliant. They have spared no expense. The brain that conceived this idea...
Come in!
Excuse me, sir. You too, sir. Can I join the Army now and go to the front and commence the fighting?
Really want to go, Jethro?
Oh, yes, sir. There's just one thing. Sure would like to have me some victuals first.
What?
Oh, that's what the boy calls food, Colonel. Jethro, sit down, son.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Colonel, this is where he really showed his brilliance. He had me convinced that he was a compulsive eater. Let me show you something. What is this ink blot a picture of? The truth now.
Well, it's a nude woman.
Of course. And, this?
Same thing.
That's right. They're all nudes. You know it, I know it, and Rorschach knows it. Get a load of this reaction. Jethro, what is this?
Oh, that's a picture of the ham hock you showed me afore.
And, this?
Hog jows, pork chops, chitlins, possum shanks. Oh, man, ain't she a beauty?
What is it, Jethro?
Big, fat, old turkey hen.
Okay, thank you, Jethro.
Can I join now? It won't cost you nothing. Uncle Jed's gonna pay my way.
Pay your way in the Army?
Well, yes, sir. Board, room, uniform, guns, tanks, airplanes, everything.
I wonder if I could talk to this uncle of yours.
Sure. You can talk to my whole family.
I'd like that.
I'll go fetch them right on down. Hey, and I can show you some of the things my Uncle Jed done bought for me, too. Hey, now you wait right here now, you hear?
Don't worry, we will.
What do you suppose is keeping the boy?
He's getting his family together over at Central Casting.
Well, he could have a family, you know.
Oh, mark my words. He will walk in here with the wildest so-called family you've ever seen.
Ah, you're a cynic. I still say that that boy...
Right in here, sir.
Stand at ease, men. Jethro? Well, how do you like it? Uncle Jed bought it for me. The whole family come with me.
Are they loaded?
Yeah, Granny's the only one that ever takes a nip.
Is that Granny?
No, of course not. That's Cousin Bessie. And that there's Ellie, Mrs. Granny, and that there's Uncle Jed. That's my whole family.
Wild enough for you?
You must be the rich uncle.
Oh, I don't know if you could call me rich. I got about 65 million.
He had more, but he just spent $10 million on our castle in England.
Ellie, he ain't interested in our castle.
I am. You have a real castle?
Yes, sir.
Big one?
Yes, sir.
With a moat and drawbridge and knights in armor?
Yes, sir.
Any dragons?
Yes, sir.
Knock it off. You must be Granny.
That's right.
You the one who put the corks in Jethro's ears?
Yep.
Was it to keep the boy out of the draft?
Oh, it was to keep the draft out of the boy.
You must be Cousin Bessie.
Oh, no, sir, I'm Cousin Ellie. This here's Cousin Bessie. I wanted to bring Pearl along, but Granny wouldn't let me.
Well, she was too gamey with all of us closed
Granny,
up.
he ain't interested in Pearl.
I am. Pearl is Jethro's mother. I'll give you 2 to 1. He fakes a hostility. Watch this. Jethro,
Yes, sir?
how do you feel about Pearl?
What's there to feel? She's a pig.
Terrible thing to say, boy.
Well, it's true. She smelled bad enough when there was just the 4 of us in the tank.
What tank?
Oh, the tank my Uncle Jed bought me. You can see it. It's parked right out front yonder.
Well, leastways, Jed, they feed 'em good in the army.
What you mean?
Looky here. Ham hock, pork jowls, pork chops, chitlins, possum shanks.
Well, are you ready to see it my way? Is he the draft-dodging champion?
I guess so. What'll I do with him?
Put him in intelligence. He's a genius.
Well, Jethro, you can take your family back to the studio now. You'll hear from us.
Am I going in the Army?
Oh, very likely, very likely. But first, we'll have to find just the right spot for a fellow with your brain.
Yeah. You hear that?
We're proud of you, boy. He's the first one in the family to graduate 6th grade.
Well, thanks for coming, folks. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye. You'll hear from us, Jethro.
Thank you.
Jethro, you don't really hate Pearl, do you?
Heck no. I'm going home right now and give her a bucket of slop.
We're playing it right to the finish. The girl, the ape, grandmother, the millionaire uncle, all piling into that little tank.
There goes the general. A real, authentic genius.
I sure hope the Army can draft him before the CIA hears about him.
Au revoir, mon general.
Better man than I am, Gunga Din. Thank you.
Nice vacation?
Wonderful. Tell me, how's my favorite person in all the world?
Oh, Chief, I don't know what to say.
Well, just tell me how he is. Mr. Clampett.
Oh, fine. Granny and Jethro are on a little visit back to the hills.
What?
Oh, it's all right. Mr. Clampett is still here.
And there's money?
Still here. Ellie Mae's still here, too.
Good.
She's doing the cooking.
Ellie is cooking?
Yes.
Well, quick, we've got to get up there.
Why?
Mr. Clampett might eat some.
Well, sit down, Pa. Everything's ready. I've been cooking all morning.
You have, huh?
Yes, sir. I want a big batch of pork chops and homemade biscuits and gravy.
Well, let's see now. That's a pretty fair-looking, done-to-a-turn pork chop.
But that's a biscuit. This is the pork chops in this dish with the cover on it. Tell me what you like.
Well, I believe I'll start out with a couple of these biscuits. You didn't set a place for yourself.
Well, it's a funny thing, Pa. Being in the kitchen so much just kind of took my appetite. When I cook it, I don't care too much to eat it.
I know what you mean.
Would you like some gravy on your biscuits?
I sure would, and this is exactly the way I like my gravy, thick and brown.
That's coffee. Yes, sir. Cooked it in the pan because the coffee pot got clogged up with what I made for breakfast.
Set up on you again, huh?
Yes, sir.
Ellie, you know, a girl as pretty as you oughtn't to waste your time cooking.
I don't mind, Pa, now that I'm getting good at it. Well, I'll fetch you some gravy.
Fine, fine.
Would you like it on your biscuit?
All right. Kind of set up on you, too.
I know how you like your gravy thick. Pa, you sure put that away.
Oh, yeah, I did. Well, that was some meal.
That's your dessert.
Well, now, Ellie, I ain't really very hungry.
Chocolate sauce on it.
Chocolate sauce, huh?
Yeah, and I know how you like that.
I do for a fact. Well, fetch it up. Well, doggy.
I'll dash around back. Oh, I hope we're not too late.
Chief, you're over-dramatizing the situation. Ellie's cooking isn't that bad. Why, I remember a meatloaf she cooked once. It was... Oh, I hope we're not too late.
By doggy, that's a mighty tasty dessert.
Well, I guess you wasn't just funny when you said what you did about chocolate sauce.
What'd I say?
Well, you always said you could eat sawdust if it had chocolate sauce on it.
Hey, mate, you didn't feed me chocolate-covered sawdust, did you?
Of course not, Paul.
Good.
That was last night's meatloaf.
Meatloaf?
Remember, you said it was so good you was going to save it for dessert.
Am I too late?
I'm afraid so.
No, you ain't, Miss Jane. There's a whole dish of pork chops here.
We got company. Why don't you run up and put on a nice, pretty dress?
Oh, yes, sir, Paul.
Mr. Krabs, are you all right?
Sure, I'm fine, thanks. Glad to see you back, Mr. Drysdale.
I just heard about Ellie cooking. Miss Hathaway should have told you to take your meals out.
Well, I have been taking them out and burying them.
What are you living on?
Well, Granny left enough victuals for a couple of weeks, but since that run out, it's been mostly roots and berries. And there is a squirrel I am right beholden to for nuts.
That's terrible.
That's all right. I'll make it up to him.
No, starting right now, you're eating at my house.
Well, that's awful nice of you, but I wouldn't want to hurt Ellie's feelings. She's trying her best. Besides, I look for Granny and Jethro back any time now.
Did you arrange their transportation?
Well, no, Mr. Clampett said it had been taken care of.
Oh, they're traveling first class, of course.
Oh, sure. They took the truck.
Why, they should be flying.
They probably are. You can't go too fast for Granny.
Come on, Jethro. We're getting close to home. Faster, faster. Come on, boy. We're putting near to the top of the hill. Hold on.
Granny, if I give out, this thing will roll back on me.
No, it won't. I got the brake on.
Well, let it off! Let it off!
Should I take it out of gear, too?
Yeah! Ah! Hold it, Granny! Put the brake on, Granny!
It's kind of you to fret over me, but I'll hold out till Granny and...
Put on the brake, Granny!
Hot doggies, I believe that's them now.
I'm tired of your backseat driving.
Truck sure is running quiet. He's here, all right. Well, come on. We's glad to, Where's your Granny?
Right here. Where I got stowed when that loudmouth smacked into Miss Jane's car.
Granny!
You all right? Why didn't you put on your brake?
I couldn't reach him. I was running alongside, hanging onto the steering wheel.
Boy, that ain't no way to drive.
But, Uncle Jed,
You might have hurt your Granny pitching her 10, 12 feet like that.
But, Uncle Jed,
And look at your shoes. You done wore them clean down to your pink socks.
What pink socks? Them's my feet.
Calls himself a driver. The minute he takes the wheel, wham, he smacks into something.
Now, Granny, the boy has learned his lesson. From now on, he's going to drive sitting in the seat like other folks.
But, Uncle Jeff, I wasn't driving. I was pushing.
Pushing?
Yes, sir, Miss Jane. Been pushing ever since the truck give out on us at the city limits.
Los Angeles or Beverly Hills?
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
Why, that's 50 miles.
Yeah, thank goodness it was all freeway.
That's it. I set it right down there, boys. Thank you. Where's Jethro?
He's going to finish unloading the truck, Granny.
Fine, fine. Now, gather round. There's presents for everybody. Now, the first is for Ellie Mae.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
It's from your Aunt Pearl. It's a party dress. Pearl sewed it all by hand, every stitch.
Earl's a modiste.
Let's see it, Ellie.
That's beautiful.
It is for a fact, Ellie.
That's a Pearl Bodine original. You won't never see another dress like that, no place.
I believe you.
It is absolutely fabulous.
Run upstairs and try it on.
Oh, yes, sir, Pop.
Pretty, ain't it?
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. That Pearl is a genius.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Miss Jane, 'cause Pearl sent you something, too.
A dress?
No, but it's a Pearl Bodine original. It's a hat. Here it is.
Ain't that a world beater?
Pearl kept it simple so you could wear it to the bank.
And she will. She will.
I don't know what to say.
Right on, Miss Jane.
Yeah, let's see what it does for you.
Oh, well, my hair's
Oh,
from
now, come on, give us a treat.
Ride's a little low, don't you think, Granny?
Well, Pearl didn't know her size, but she can pad it out with tissue paper.
Well, it is lovely. I'll write Pearl a note and thank her.
You know, Mr. Drysdale, Pearl has never made nothing for men.
Oh, what a shame.
Until now. She has took up making hand-painted neckties. One for you, Mr. Drysdale. And one for you, Jet.
Doggies. Did Pearl paint this?
She sure did. Free hand. No tracing or nothing. And you don't have to worry about getting caught in the rain. That is genuine outdoor barn paint.
Well, she shouldn't have done it.
Pearl has a favor to ask of you.
She has?
Well, you see, she's right anxious to know how city folks takes to these. And she'd like it a heap if you'd wear yours to the bank.
Oh, you will.
Will you?
Granny, you're embarrassing Mr. Drysdale to ask him a question like that. He's our friend and our neighbor. You know he'll do it.
Sure, of course. Well, Miss Hathaway, we'd better be going.
Oh, just a minute. I got another present I brung you. I picked it out myself. It's for your office.
Souvenir. Snyder Swamp?
That's the big health resort back in our neck of the woods.
Folks come from miles around to take the cure.
Cure for what?
You know, Jed?
No, but it must work. Nobody ever comes back.
Well, thanks again for these lovely gifts.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Glad you like 'em. Don't you want to see what else I brung from home?
Another time, Granny.
Oh, would you leave the door open, Miss Jane? I gotta ask Granny where she wants her sorghum.
Is that thing full of sorghum?
Oh, yes, sir, 60 gallons.
It must weigh a ton.
Oh, no, ma'am. Only 600 or 700 pounds, but it's kind of clumsy. And I'm pooped from pushing that truck.
There it is, Jed. A telephone.
Granny, we got telephones all over the house.
Not like this, and you ain't. Looky here.
Granny, where do you want your sorghum?
Solid oak. Not only is it built better, But with these new phones, you don't have to dial. All you do is turn the crank, lift up the receiver, and say, hello, Central, give me so-and-so. And I never knowed anything could be so much enjoyment. Why, back to Pearls, I used to spend 10 to 12 hours a day on this thing.
That's a heap of talking.
I was listening. It's what you call a party line.
Jethro, what are you doing?
Get up from there, boy.
Yeah, that's my sorghum barrel you're playing with.
If that thing was to bust open, we'd have an awful mess.
If you want to do something, connect up my new telephone.
Did Jethro do that?
He took it down at Pearl's.
How do y'all like my party dress?
Oh, ain't you pretty?
What Pearl can do with a needle and thread just ain't to be believed.
We gotta have a party so Ellie can wear it.
Quick as I get my new telephone connected, I'll invite everybody on the line.
Hear that, boy? Hurry up. I thought I told you to get up from there. Come on your feet.
Looky that. He's done wore himself out playing with that heavy barrel.
You could be tuckered out after pushing a truck 50 miles on the freeway.
Well, we stayed pretty much in the slow lane.
Okay.
All right, no more playing. Take that barrel around back and connect up my telephone.
Oh, Granny, I'm plumb spent. I can't move a muscle till I have some victuals.
Well, come on, Jethro. I'll make you a meatloaf.
Never mind, Ellie. I just got my second wind.
Well, I see Jethro's got your party line telephone up.
It's been up for a half hour. I ain't getting nothing on it.
Let me see. How come you put it so low?
I said to. Told him to put it rocking chair high.
I don't hear a thing. Sure you know how to connect it up?
He claimed he did. Said he'd been watching them telephone fellas, the ones that climb the poles.
Maybe I can find him if I follow these wires. Jethro?
Yes, sir.
Granny's waiting for you to hook up her telephone.
Yes, sir, I know.
Reckon you can climb a pole with all them tools on you?
Oh, yes, sir. You see, them telephone fellows got great big old spikes strapped to their boots.
You got some?
Yes, sir.
Well, what are you doing standing there?
Trying to pull them out of the ground. Hit a soft spot. Sunk into the handle.
Is them my good potato forks?
Yes, sir.
Hold still, I'll cut you loose.
Thank you.
How long you been stuck here?
Quite a spell. It got to where the birds was lighting on me.
Why didn't you call me to help you?
I was afraid you might think I was kind of dumb.
Why would I think a thing like that?
I guess you're right. Well, tell Granny I'll have her hooked up in no time.
Who are you talking to, Granny?
Ain't talking to nobody.
Well, who are you listening to?
Ain't listening to nobody neither. Jethro still ain't got me connected up yet. Run outside, see
Good
can you...
news, Granny. Jethro's up the pole, and he says that... You ain't cooking, are you, Ellie?
Oh, I'm fixing to, Paul. I figured I'd bake up a cake for the party.
Well, instead of that, why don't you run out to where Jethro's sitting on top of that pole?
Well, what for?
Well, I don't want no terrible accident to happen.
Oh, don't you worry, Paul. I won't let him fall off that pole.
That ain't the accident I had in mind.
When am I gonna come in hearing something?
Any minute, Granny. You know, there's a heap of wires up on that pole for Jethro to choose from. How you coming, boy?
Fine, Uncle Jed. Granny's gonna have plenty to listen to. These old telephone wires is humming like a swarm of bees.
Granny, I don't know what you heard, but it must have been an earful. Granny.
Excuse me, Chief.
Just a minute. Now, look, Margaret, I don't care how long the electricity has been off. I can't fix it. Call the power and light. My wife says the whole neighborhood is... Get that nightmare off your head.
Profits are on their way up.
What? Oh, we're time. Oh, put mine on. Here.
Can we come in?
Well, look who's here. We were just admiring our beautiful gifts.
Well, we're glad you like it.
Oh, now, what can we do for you?
Well, it seems that Granny here come back from the hills with a powerful hankering to have herself a party line telephone.
A what?
A party line telephone.
A party line telephone?
Jed, ask him about the party line telephone.
I just did, Granny.
Hey!
Yeah, I just did.
Did what?
Ask him about the party line telephone.
Well, if you won't do it, I guess I'll have to. I'd like to have a party line telephone.
Has something gone wrong with Granny's hearing?
Yes, ma'am. You see, Pearl give Granny her telephone, but Jethro must have hooked it up wrong because it blowed up in Granny's ear.
Jed, tell him what happened to Pearl's telephone.
I just did.
Eh?
I say, I just did.
Did what?
Tell him what happened to Pearl's telephone.
You see, Pearl give me her telephone, but Jethro must have connected it up wrong, because every time...
Granny, I told him.
Eh?
Mr. Clem, explain to us what happened with Pearl's telephone.
That's it. That's what I want. Can you get me one?
It's your pleasure,
Well, I'll do my best.
What'd you say?
he said he'd do his best.
Eh?
His best.
Yeah. Looks real nice with Pearl's top. But what about the telephone?
He'll do it. Okay.
I'll do my...
Good. Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. And I'd like about 10 or 12 parties on the line. And see if you can get me Pearl's old ring. 3 shorts and a long.
Thanks again.
Chief, this is Beverly Hills. You'll never...
Oh, connect me with the telephone business office, please.
This is the home of private phones and unlisted numbers. You'll never get the Clampetts a party line.
Don't worry. The right threat can accomplish miracles.
You're going to threaten the telephone company?
No, I'm going to threaten you. Get them a party line or you're fired.
Hello?
That's a nice little walk down to the bank and back. We ought to do more of that, don't you think?
You know, Dad, it's a nice little walk down to the bank and back. I think the exercise helped my hearing.
Yeah.
Eh?
I should have known better than to depend on you.
But Chief,
What am I going to tell the Clampers when they want to know why? There they are. Your hat. Where's your hat?
Oh, it's in there.
Come in, come in. I was just admiring this beautiful pillow. Can't wait to get to Snyder's Swamp.
Well, I won't hold you up long.
Who are you?
Well, I'm Mr. Kramer with the telephone company. The business office says you requested a party line.
Well, not for me. It's for this eccentric little lady.
Oh. I understand you want a party line.
No. She's not the one either. I'm talking about a real oddball character.
I see. But in any event, I have come to explain that the telephone company is unable to grant your request.
Baloney.
I beg your pardon?
It's no longer a request. It's a demand.
Demand?
Yes, my bank does a lot of business with the telephone company, Now, either you give the Clampets a party line, or you're going to lose a good customer. Now, drop that in your coin box and see what number you get.
Now, y'all wait right here while I go fetch Mr. Drysdale. And, Granny, I'd be much obliged if you'd stop your belly aching. Seems to me we got a whole heap to be grateful for tonight.
Name me something.
Well, Mr. Drysdale taking us all out to supper.
Yeah, we won't have to eat Ellie's cooking.
And Jethro's got the truck running again. You got your hearing back?
What good is it? I ain't got no party line to listen to.
Granny, don't you be throwing that up to Mr. Drysdale. He done his best. He went right to the wall for you. Don't you mean-mouth him no more.
Mr. Drysdale, he don't know nothing.
Mr. Drysdale, we ready to go to supper?
Oh, good, good. I'll have Miss Hathaway check our reservations.
Well, I didn't see her in her office.
Well, she's filling in on the switchboard.
Oh. Well, we sure do want to thank you for the scrap you put up over Granny's party line.
My pleasure. I showed the telephone company they can't push Milburn Drysdale around. Hello? Miss Hathaway?
Hello, Miss Hathaway.
Yes, Chief? Hello, Chief?
Miss Hathaway.
Oh, there you are, Chief. Yes, what is it?
Check my dinner reservation.
Yes, sir. Hold the hose, please.
Great little system. Saves a bundle. The only thing we haven't licked is long distance.
That's Sam Hill. Well, this wasn't here when I left this morning.
Drop your gun and reach for the sky. Drop it and reach.
You tell me what's going on here.
Give the password.
Tarnation, Granny.
That ain't it.
Enough of this foolishness.
Well, I had to make sure you weren't the enemy in disguise. When you're feuding, you can't be too careful.
Feuding? With who?
With the Beverly Hills smog goomers. And I didn't start it either. Here, read that.
You are hereby notified.
It says when I make soap in my kittle out back, that I am creating a smog hazard.
You will immediately see.
It says if I don't stop making soap, I'm going to get arrested by the smog commissioner.
The violation of the
When
above.
the Beverly Hills say I can't make soap, then I say it's time to fight. Well, ain't you going to read it?
Yeah, when my eyeballs stop bouncing.
Jed, don't tear it down.
Talking, not shooting, is a way to settle these things.
Jed, we can't let them stop me making soap.
Well, I aim to see about that. Now, you tell Jethro to come out here and help me take this down.
He can't. He's busy making a feud.
Granny, have you got that boy all steamed up thinking there's going to be a feud?
I can't remember whether I mentioned it to him or not.
Hey, take a look at our feud tanks.
I guess I did mention it to him. But, Jed, the right to make soap is one of the 4 freedoms, and we can't let it get trumped on.
Granny, there ain't going to be no feuding.
You just trumped on another one.
Hey, boy, lift this up.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
Fooled you. Take a look. I got levers hooked up to the shifts and the pedals so that I can drive and shoot from in here.
What do you do but steering?
Oh, this here's a tank, Uncle Jed. It ain't got none of them luxury extras.
Come on out of there, boy.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. As soon as I find the opening.
Jed, if I can't cook up my homemade lye soap, I'd just as soon die.
Granny, I told you I was going to talk to somebody. Jethro?
Uncle Jed?
What is it, boy?
The steering weren't the only luxury extra I forgot.
What was the other one?
The door.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I'm sure.
I'll go around back and fetch you a crowbar.
Jed, we don't need no tank. Just one look at my shotgun and that smog commissioner will back right off.
Granny, go out in the kitchen and get you a nice cool glass of buttermilk. There ain't gonna be no feuding.
Granny, whilst I'm waiting, I'd sure like a cold glass of that buttermilk. Of course, I'm gonna need an extra long straw.
Looks like a barricade, Commissioner.
Yes, when Mrs. Drysdale filed the complaint, she warned me to expect anything.
I'd better handle the inspection.
No. You know, there's an election coming up, and I'd better do a couple of these myself.
Rough one, it's 402.
I know. Open wood fire with acrid fumes. Well, I'm going out in it.
Go ahead, Commissioner. Don't be a hero.
Everybody knows the talking comes after the fighting, not before. Smugglers.
You might need this fire extinguisher.
Thank you.
And, Commissioner, good luck.
That's the ugliest varmint I ever did see. Where's the shot? Come in, honey.
Mr. Clampett?
Drop it! That'll learn you to mess around with the four freedoms!
Get going! There's some kind of an animal in that cage! Here comes the guy with a crowbar! Let's get out of here!
That's him, Dad. That's the smog commissioner.
Just a minute, I want to talk to you. You won't get away with this!
He come up to me wearing a mask and pointing this thing at me.
Looks like things has got out of hand. We better get right down and talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Margaret, what do you mean Tinsley's going to stop the Clampetts from making soap? I thought you contributed $500 to his re-election campaign. That's why he's doing it. Miss Hathaway, get this jerk Tinsley on the phone for me. And when I stop him, I'll be home and talk to you.
Chief.
Don't chief me. Get him on the phone. Why, that cheap, double-crossing, two-bit ward healer.
But Chief.
Show me this Commissioner Tinsley, and I'll show you a fathead.
I'm Commissioner Tinsley.
I'm a fathead.
What's that?
Oh, Miss Hathaway was just showing me how well you'd look in a mustache. Quite becoming. Erase this, Miss Hathaway.
I'll come right to the point. I understand J.D. Clampett is a client of yours.
He certainly is. Oh, I just remembered. I have here a $600 contribution for your re-election campaign.
Well, now that's very public-spirited of you, Mr. Drysdale. Thank you very much.
That's my pleasure. Now, I'm sure you want to forget all about the Clampetts and this silly soap making.
No, I won't.
What?
Not only are they contributing to smog, but just a short time ago, I got chased from their house at gunpoint, threatened with a crowbar, and grabbed by their pet gorilla.
Well, I admit they're not much at entertaining.
Listen, Drysdale, if these people don't cease all burning immediately and destroy their soap-making apparatus, I'll make sure they're thrown into jail.
Wait a minute, Commissioner.
That's all I gotta say. Goodbye.
What about my contribution?
Oh, say thank you again.
Chief, the Clampetts are here.
Dad, there ain't no time to sit around and jaw. We gotta commence the attack.
I'm sorry to cause all this ruckus, but Granny here is about to start a feud with the whole county of Beverly Hills.
What?
They may have us outnumbered, but we got a cause. The right to make soap.
Now, wait. If you'll just give me a chance to see the commissioner again and discuss this. Sure.
Mr. Drysdale, nobody hates feuding worse than I do. I tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't have no truck with me. I don't know what to do.
He'll listen if our shotguns do the talking.
Granny, Mr. Clampett, if I may interpose a note of reason, in a democratic society, there are established ways to redress our grievances with public officials.
I already gave him $600.
I was referring to the ballot box. Mr. Tinsley is running for re-election. I suggest you participate in the campaign and attempt to defeat him on Election Day.
You mean me run for smog commissioner?
Well, actually, I meant...
We know what you meant. It's Mr. Clampett's civic duty to run. And it's certainly better than feuding. Isn't it, Miss Hathaway?
Well, it ain't better, but at least it's some kind of a fight.
Hold on now. I appreciate the thought, but old stump kicker like me couldn't win no election.
Oh, nonsense. Even if you don't win, you'll have gotten your issue before the people.
Yes, the right to make soap.
Mr. Drysdale, I don't think I'll...
All right, then. Let's go home and gather up all the guns and dynamite we can find. I don't need an election to get Tinsley out of office. I'll blast him out.
You know, Mr. Drysdale, on second thought, maybe it'd be safer for everybody if I did run for smog commissioner.
Wonderful.
I better run for Granny.
Hey, Uncle Jed, I'm back and we got this election in the bag.
Now, take it easy. The only reason I'm doing this is to save Granny from Beverly Hills and Beverly Hills from Granny.
Well, wait till you see what I got for the campaign. You're going to be a shoo-in whether you like it or not.
The only thing that matters is keeping Granny's mind off her shotgun. Thank goodness it seems to be doing that.
Jed, I'm ready to go.
Granny, I thought we was going to win this feud with votes.
We are, but this is for them that ain't got a clear view of the issue.
It stays here. I'm getting my votes like every other politician.
You mean we're gonna buy them?
No, but Jethro's got a dandy idea for drawing a crowd, and we're
Uncle
gonna...
Jed, here's your campaign manager with the posters hot off the press.
Let's take a look.
Jethro Bodine says, vote for Jed Clampett.
What kind of election poster's that?
Well, that's the only picture I could find.
Ain't you kind of tooting the wrong horn?
What you mean?
Well, shouldn't my name be at the top?
Oh, I got one of them, too.
Vote for Jed Clampett for smog commish. Jethro Bodine, campaign manager.
Dumb old printer run out of room.
Well, we'll save these for later. What you got in the sack?
Hamburgers.
Can't you get your mind off on food and onto this election?
Food. Ain't that something? And under the meat is wrote, Jethro Bodine, campaign manager. You want to see it?
I don't think so. Let's get downtown and drum up some votes.
Okay, I got everything we'll need.
Really, Chief, don't you think it's about time you started going to a barber shop for your haircuts?
What's wrong with this? I say the $2.50 and give you the tip.
Yes, 15 cents.
Ah, don't forget the nickel I give you for the shoe shine. The sideburns a little longer this time. I feel kind of sporty after solving a major crisis like the Clampetts.
You have not solved it. You have merely postponed it.
Oh, no. By election day, Granny will be sick of the whole issue and glad to forget about blowing up the county building.
Yes, but what about Mr. Clampett? He thinks he's running for smog commissioner.
Oh, so they put up a poster or two. At least they're staying out of trouble.
Well, I think it's the wrong way to handle the matter.
Miss Hathaway, I can't stand a barber who talks all the time. Thanks. It's a beautiful day. There's a band concert in the park across the street. Wait a minute. What park?
What band?
Folks, neighbors.
Excuse me, Uncle Jed. That folks and neighbors just ain't got no class. You give me a little while, I'll write you a real speech.
Mr. Clampett, what are you doing?
Well, we're campaigning, Mr. Drysdale. Gee, I hope we didn't interrupt your lunch.
Boy, you sure must be a sloppy eater.
We heard you praying and came right down.
We're drumming up a crowd so Jed can say a speech.
And it's heartwarming to see how the people's ready to support me.
They are?
Why, every time we play, folks try to drop money in my tambourine.
But we don't need it. Jed stands ready to sink all of his $62 million in this campaign.
All right, hit it. We've got to get them off the street. They'll be arrested.
Perhaps if you suggested a campaign rally.
Good idea. Mr. Clampett, you ought to start your campaign with a rally. You know, a speaker stand, flags, crowds, the works.
Well, all right, Mr. Drysdale, if you don't mind us stopping traffic along here.
Oh, not here.
at your house to show them you're a homeowner and a family man.
Yes. That sounds like a good idea, Uncle Jed. I'm his campaign manager.
That might be fun at that. Well, don't you worry about Mr. Drysdale. We'll take care of everything. You just go back to your spaghetti or whatever it was you was about to eat.
Bye.
Bye.
Now you run along. There ain't nothing worse than cold spaghetti.
When we gonna have a rally, Paul?
This afternoon, Ellie.
I'll get some sheets to hang on the side of the tank. I mean the truck. And Jethro can print on them.
Well, Ellie can do that, Granny. I just thought of a way to tell the whole city about the rally on one poster.
One poster?
Where are you going to put it?
Up there. I'm gonna skyride it. Hold this, Uncle Jed.
Writing in the sky. I think the boys been blowing oompahs on this thing too long.
I don't think it's a blowing so much, Granny, as trying to get them hurried through these hamburgers. 3 hamburgers, everybody.
That's just dandy, child.
Well, I want to be all done before Paul gets back.
Ellie, go on in the house. Here comes the smog commissioner.
Well, I'll help you fight him.
No, he's all alone. Maybe I can talk him into conceiving the race a little early. Well, if it ain't the nice Commissioner Tinsley.
Now, see here, little lady.
Oh, I'm awful sorry about this morning, but I want to talk to you about the election.
Oh, that's why I've come up to this zoo again. I've heard that Mr. Clampett is running, and I want to tell him that it hasn't changed my position on soap making one bit.
Well, Jed's out back.
Well, then you tell him. He's wasting his time.
Oh, now, don't yell at Granny. Oh, I'm sure you have a nice little old mama just like me, somewhere.
Hardly. Your gorilla escaped.
Oh, that's Jethro, my grandnephew's invention. He's a genius, you know. Has a lot of levers and such, all rigged up so he can drive it from in there.
Really?
Take a look. It's fascinating. Where does your dear old mama live, Mr. Commissioner?
Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh, my. And how long has it been since you've seen her dear, sweet face?
It's been over a year.
Oh, that long. How would you like to take a trip to Iowa and visit her till after the election?
What? Now, see here.
Jethro will drive you as soon as he gets back.
Granny! Commissioner!
Why, Commissioner, what were you doing in there?
Why, I don't know. Rally today. So that's it, eh? Thought you'd get some publicity at my expense. Well, it won't work. And as soon as I defeat you at the polls, I'll get the smog control to raid this place.
Granny, you shouldn't have done that.
It was for his dear, sweet mama. She'd have been so happy.
Paul, Granny, look! Jethro's putting Paul's name in the sky.
Danged if he ain't riding in the sky just like he said, with the airplane trailing smoke.
That's a poster you can't miss.
There's your name, Jed.
J-E-T.
That cluck. He ain't never gonna get to your name.
He's doing good if he finishes a picture.
What do you see, Chief?
Just some skywriting plane spelling out J-E-T-H. Probably some new diet drink.
Oh, let me see.
No, forget it. You've got a big problem on your hands.
I?
Getting me out of the mess I'm in. How could I know that Jed Clampett was actually going to campaign?
Well, as long as he is, why not try to shape him into a somewhat acceptable candidate?
Are you kidding? He's not political material. He's honest, straightforward, trustworthy. What kind of a politician would that make? And he has no sophistication. He's just a rail splitter, born in a log cabin.
Isn't his similarity to Lincoln amazing?
Who?
The man on the $5 bill.
Oh, yeah, Lincoln! What about it?
I was just saying that Mr. Clampett has a great deal in common with him.
Yes, he has. See, I wonder if with the right public relations...
Oh, Chief, I didn't mean...
No,
to
wait,
suggest-
you hit on something. We can play up the log cabin, the rail splitting, the honesty bit. Oh, what a campaign!
For smog, Commissioner?
Oh, that's only the beginning. With this gimmick, there's no telling how far he can go. Mayor, state senate, governor's mansion.
Chief.
From there, it's only a hop to the White House. Honest Jed Clampett, President of the United States. And I'll be right there beside him, Secretary of the Treasury. The Mint is my playground. A summer home at Fort Knox.
Now, lie down. Let me put this bag of silver dollars on your forehead.
Well, I reckon we better forget about having the rally today.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get no big crowds with that.
Jethro's lost without an eraser.
Don't nobody say nothing.
Now, hold on, boy. You done your best.
Dumb old pilot. He weren't no help spelling at all. Couldn't draw neither.
Don't take it so hard. We'll have that rally.
Yeah, but I was all ready for it today. Done got a speech wrote up for you and everything.
Ellie Mae, go and see can you cheer him up.
Yes, sir, Paul.
Let's hear the speech, Jed.
All right. Looks like a dandy. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear.
Got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, boy ain't much good at drawing, but he sure can write good.
Read the part about making my soap.
All right, here it is. To make soap or not to make soap? That is the question. Doggy.
Mr. President.
Chief, remember, smog, Commissioner first. Did you have your rally?
Well, we wanted to, but nobody got the word.
Oh, what happened?
Them ain't thunderclouds up there.
Well, we're going to have it. Jethro'll be heartbroken if we don't.
Mr. Clampett, you're going to be on television. We've arranged for a great debate with Tinsley.
Well, good. I got a dandy speech here.
No. This is a debate, and I know just how we can nail him.
I had him nailed in the back of the truck.
What were you saying, Mr. Drysdale?
Anti-smog devices.
During Commissioner Tinsley's 3 years in office, he failed to come up with a single device to eliminate contaminants from automobile exhausts.
Well, I hope that ain't part of the job. I couldn't build one neither.
No. I meant...
I bet Jethro could.
Yeah, I'm going to put him on that. He's a genius when it comes to inventing things.
Good. Well, I'll pick you up tomorrow for the debate. Oh, and I have some things in the car for you. Help me, Miss Hathaway.
I hope you get to say your speech,
So do
Jed.
I. Listen to this. Soap by any other name would smell as sweet.
That's beautiful. Jed, it's almost time to go to the TV studio.
We're all ready to go.
Well, you've been primping him long enough.
Granny, may I present the next small commissioner of the county of Beverly Hills? Wonderful. All we need now is a beard.
Mr. Drysdale, I don't want to wear this.
I'll get it.
But you must. It's all a part of the campaign.
How do you do, Granny?
It's the small goober. Everybody out back. We gotta protect the soap. Keep the old fire burning.
Now, hold on, Tinsley.
What is this? I just came over to offer Mr. Clampett one last chance before the debate to withdraw from the race.
Running scared, eh? Now that you're up against Honest Jed.
I ain't going to do it. I don't care if it costs me the election. I can't try to be somebody I ain't.
But, Uncle Jed, we got the election in the bag. I done invented a smog device small enough to fit on any car.
What?
I never saw one that small. Why, that's amazing.
I tested it. It works. This is without my device, and this here is with it.
Filled it completely. What a breakthrough.
I'll pull the truck up front and demonstrate it for you.
We'll make a fortune.
Now, wait, Mr. Drysdale. If it's good for folks, we'll want to give it to the country.
Yeah?
Well, that's wonderful. In return, I'll allow Granny to make her soap.
What are you talking about? Mr. Clampett's gonna be the new small commissioner.
Oh, no, Mr. Drysdale. If Mr. Tinsley will allow Granny to make her soap, he's got my vote.
No.
I never cared about running no house.
It's a deal, then.
Okay, Mr. Tinsley. Ready to put my device on the truck.
You're a genius. Building a workable device this small.
Oh, the device weren't nothing. The real problem was making the filter.
Filter?
That
That's the filter?
Yeah, you ought to see it before I got it down to size.
Great Scott. And you ought to hear the speech he wrote. 87 years ago.
Okay, now. I showed you how to split wood. Now, you come on over here and let's see you do it. Now, listen, Maybelle. If you could learn to do my chores, well, I'd give you half my allowance. I'd get 50 cents a week. After that, it'd be a nickel. All right, calm down. I'll make it a dime. All right, quit your fussing. I'll split it right down the middle. Now, get busy and chop wood. I either got to get me a smaller axe or a bigger rake.
Hey, what y'all doing?
Just playing. Hey, listen, Ellie. You know, poor little old Maybelle gets awful lonesome. How would you like for her to have a big brother?
All right. You can be her big brother.
Me, Ellie? I mean another monkey. A great big one.
What, do they come bigger than Maybelle?
Why, heck yeah. Why, they's great big ones. It's called a gorilla.
Gorilla?
Well, yeah. Why, that rascal could chop wood till... he'd be a heap of fun to have around.
Well, is he big enough to wrestle?
Is he? Why, a gorilla's got arms pretty near as long as mine.
Come on, Maybelle. Let's go in the ice park. We can have one.
You want a what?
A gorilla.
What's a gorilla?
Well, Jethro says they's like Maybelle here, only bigger.
We don't need another ape.
Please, Granny. Maybelle don't like to be called that. You have to say it spelling.
Ellie, what do we need with another,
A-I-P.
Well, Jethro says there's a heap of fun, and why, he could be a big brother.
You don't need a big brother. You need a husband.
Well, he could be Maybelle's big brother. Please, Pa, let me have a gorilla.
Well, now, you run along, darling. I'll talk it over with the granny.
Thank you. Give him a little kiss, Maybelle.
Never mind. Thanks anyway.
Jed, I hope you ain't gonna let that child drag no more varmints on this place.
Granny, I figured we could give it to her for a birthday present.
Her birthday is done past.
Well, we didn't give her what she asked for.
I'm glad we didn't. It's hard enough to spell ape. I don't want to fool around with rhinoceroses.
Uncle Jed, you gonna get Ellie Mae a gorilla?
Granny and me were just talking it over.
He's awful nice to have.
I'm agin him. Ellie's too busy taking care of her critters now.
A gorilla can do that for her.
Ain't a gorilla a critter?
Well, yeah. Except he's smarter than most. Pretty near as smart as me.
Who tell?
Pretty near as big as me, too. And can work like me.
Well, if he eats like you, forget it. I ain't cooking for another table buzzard.
You wouldn't have to cook for him. Gorillas don't eat nothing but leaves.
Leaves?
Well, yes, sir. And talk about strong. Well, I could learn that rascal to chop wood, pull a plow, or do...
Do what?
Do the ironing or the washing or whatever else you said.
What do you think, Granny?
Well, it won't do no harm to take a look at one.
Yeah, we could take him on approval.
I'll call Mr. Drysdale, see can he find us one.
Hot dog. I know you're going to like having a gorilla around. I'll go read up on him in the encyclopedia. There's lots of things they can take.
Well, good morning, Mr. Drysdale. This here is Jed Clampett.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, good morning. Morning. What can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to ask you a little favor.
Consider it done. Anytime I can't do you a little favor, I'll transfer your $60 million into another bank.
Well, thank you. You ain't never failed us yet.
And I won't fail you now. What is it you'd like?
Well, we'd like us a gorilla.
One gorilla coming up.
One gorilla. Did you say gorilla?
Did you say gorilla?
Yes, sir. One of them big apes.
The kind that eats leaves.
Can you get him over here this morning, Mr. Drysdale?
Sooner the better. How about it?
Well, Mr. Clampett, there's nothing I'd rather do than get you a gorilla.
Well, thank you. I knew we could count on you. Bye.
But, Mr. Clampett, hello. Well, Miss Hathaway, you certainly got me into a mess this time.
I haven't done anything.
That's why I'm in a mess next time you answer the phone. I can't get him a gorilla. What am I going to do?
Well, you've already provided the answer to that.
I have?
Yes. Transfer Mr. Clampett's $60 million to another bank.
Put him up.
Calm down. Now, it is obvious the Clampetts have never seen a gorilla. Just take them to the zoo. One look at that fearsome anthropoid beating his huge chest, baring his fangs.
No. I made Jed Clampett a promise, and I'm going to keep it.
But, Chief, you can't deliver a live gorilla to their home.
You just get those letters typed. I'm going to handle this on the executive level. Have no fear. Lord Greystoke is here. Tommy. Miss Hathaway, this is Tom Kelly, the greatest gorilla impersonator in the business.
Chief, you might have prepared me.
Well, I wanted to test the effect.
Well, it's devastating. How did he get into the bank?
Oh, he changed the men's room down the hall.
Pardon me, Mr. Drysdale, but there's one of your tellers out in the window ledge.
This is an amazingly authentic costume. You really gave me a start.
I've even frightened other gorillas. You can imagine what I'm going to do to those hillbillies.
Oh, exactly. What is the plan?
Well, I'm going to be delivered to the Clampett doorstep, just as Mr. Drysdale promised. But in a cage, of course.
I see.
Now, when they come out to look at me, I put on my act. I start pounding my chest, and then I snarl, and I reach for them through the bars.
Well, that should certainly convince them they can never make a pet of a gorilla. May I?
Go ahead. Now, in case that shouldn't work, one side of the cage has got some trick bars, you know, so I can spread them out like gargantua. Well, when I start to bend those big steel bars to get out, people really panic. Otis, get the teller off the ledge.
No, I found out he was due for a raise, so I left him out there to think it over. Now, Tommy, the truck will deliver you to the Clampetts in your cage. And when you've done your act, you'll come back here with... Miss Hathaway, take that off. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. When you come back here, we'll settle the
Oh, that's very funny.
Come on, everybody, his hand.
Mr. Drysdale sure kept his word.
Don't go too close right off. We don't want to scare him.
How come he's in a cage?
So he won't run away, I reckon.
Don't worry about that. I'll butter his paws.
Sure is big and stout, ain't he, Granny?
Appears to be if he ain't all hair.
Granny, the way he's thumping himself, I think he's got a touch of heartburn.
Yeah. Probably from eating all them leaves.
Could be they's repeating on him.
I'll stir up some soda water and peppermint. That ought to ease him some.
Ain't he cute, Pa?
I don't know as I'd call him cute, Ellie, but it's hard to look pleasant with an upset stomach. You've been reading up on this critter. Don't he eat anything besides leaves?
Just roots and bark and stuff. He's what you call herbivorous.
Nice name.
Gonna call him Herbie.
Ellie Mae, run in the house and tell Granny to hurry up with that peppermint and soda water. This poor critter is suffering something pitiful. Now, hang on, Herbie. Hep's on the way.
Granny's coming.
Herbie, you're going to feel better now.
Here you are, boy. Just drink this down. Why, you ornery varmint?
Granny, you hurt him.
I'm gonna learn him some manners.
Now, Granny, you got to make allowance. Look out! Heartburn or no heartburn, I ain't going to stand still for that. Unlock the door, Jethro.
I can't, Uncle Jed. It's padlocked.
I know you, Herbie.
pick on a poor, weak, helpless old...
Look at that. You hadn't ought to got Granny riled.
You're going to the woodshed. And when I'm done with you, your heart won't be the only thing burning. Cut me a switch.
Please, Granny, don't switch him. Give him another chance. You sorry, ain't you, Herbie? You ain't gonna be bad no more, are you?
Doggies, Jethro's right. He's pretty near human.
Too human, if you ask me. Jethro, take him upstairs and get him into some clothes.
Clothes?
You heard me. Get going.
Come on, Herbie. He don't want to go, Granny.
Who asked him?
It's all right, Herbie. Maybe I'll wear his clothes, and while you's getting dressed, I'll get you a nice basket of leaves to eat.
Now get on upstairs with Jethro.
Granny, he appears like he's got a mind of his own.
Well, he can't learn too young that we don't take orders from AIP.
Jethro, fetch him back.
Give me your pocket knife, Jed. I'm gonna have to cut me a switch.
Well, Granny, let's try kindness first. Remember, his stomach is out of whack.
I offered him some soda water, and he knocked it out of my hand and fetched me a wrap on my head.
Let's try a cup of your hot possum broth. That'll get him to smiling.
Open the door, somebody.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell a soup of a possum.
Get your nose out of there now. That's for the gorilla. Where is he?
Oh, Uncle Jed's fetching him. Took both of us to get him into them clothes.
Come on, Herb. Come on, show Granny how nice you look. What do you think, Granny?
He looks like Leif Crick.
Them's Leif's overalls he's wearing. Good thing he left them behind.
My clothes was too binding on him. Uncle Jed's, too.
That's a big mess of monkey. Never did get underdrawers on him.
Well, I'll run him up a couple of pair. Come on, Herbie. Let's get more. Don't you get me.
Granny!
Oh, you just wait till I cut me a switch.
We washed him upstairs. Take him to the table, Jethro.
Come on, Herbie.
You can forget about switching him. He's got a hide on his seat that thick.
No.
You could sole a shoe with him.
Here you are, Herbie. I picked you a basket of nice fresh leaves.
Now, hold on, Ellie. We think that's what gave him the dyspepsy.
But, Uncle Jed, that's what the encyclopedia says that gorillas likes to eat.
Granny made him some nice soup.
Well, let's let Herbie decide which one he'd rather have. You want leaves?
Here's what he wants. Some of Granny's possum broth. This'll put hair on your chest.
Got a dandy head of grease on it.
Thank you. And you see them little chunks floating around in there? To give it extra flavor, I diced up the tail. Take that hairy goomer out of my kitchen. He ain't fit to sit at the table. Please.
Come on, Herbie.
Oh, you let go of him, Joker. He's my gorilla.
I don't fight over him, young'uns. There's enough ape there for everybody.
Ungrateful varmint. I offer him my good possum soup, and he commences eating leaves. Wait a minute. Jethro said that gorilla would do the ironing. And by dingies, he's gonna.
Tommy put on his act, all right. Look at these bars.
I hope the Clampetts weren't completely terrorized.
Oh, they'll get over it. In the meantime, I'm still their hero, the man who never fails. They wanted a gorilla, I delivered a gorilla.
Well, where do you suppose Mr. Kelly is now?
Probably at the bank trying to collect his fee.
Well, didn't you make arrangements?
Of course. He's to get his money from one of the tellers, the one who's out on the ledge.
Come on, Herbie. You gotta
get this wood split before Granny finds us.
Please, Paul, make him stop. Jethro's gonna have my gorilla too tired to wrestle.
I wonder how Jethro got him to work so hard.
Well, like I keep telling you, Herbie, if you don't get this wood split, I'm gonna make you eat that possum soup.
Jethro? You got that poor ape busier than a beaver in a sawmill.
Oh, heck, Uncle Jet. He ain't even worked up a sweat.
It's kind of frazzled to me.
Now I'm gonna learn him to plow, hoe taters, and mow the lawn.
No, you ain't neither. Paul got that gorilla for me and Maybelle.
Yeah, but he's real handy at doing things like...
Let Ellie have him for a spell.
Come on, Maybelle. I want you to meet your big brother Herbie. And he's gonna take you for a nice little stroll.
Sorry, Chief, no sign of life.
I just had a horrible thought. What if that gorilla scared them so bad they went back to the hills?
Oh, I hardly
That's what
think-
probably happened. One look at that terrifying beast, and they hopped in the truck and took off. Now, we'll never see them again.
Chief! Isn't that the terrifying beast approaching?
Wearing clothes and pushing a baby buggy. Tommy, what happened?
You and your simple hillbillies. I'm getting out of here.
No, wait.
Wait, nothing. They're working me to death.
No, Tommy, listen to reason.
Then you can't take my car!
Come on there, you hairy varmint! Get out of that car and into the kitchen before I take this stick to you.
No, Granny, don't hit him.
That's what Jed said. And look what it got us. A car thief.
Granny,
He's in the kitchen like I told you. It happens every time. Spare the rod and spoil the ape.
Mr. Clampett, you can't domesticate a gorilla.
Do what?
Have them do ironing and things like that.
They're dangerous. You can't trust them.
That's the truth. Look what he done to Granny's bloomer. I want her to see him. She'd scorch his.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just waving to the gorilla. You know, I'd like to try and make friends with him. Do you mind?
No, he needs all the friends he can get.
I wonder if I could be along with him.
Well, if you want to chance it. He gets mighty peevish at times. We think it's on account of the indigestion.
I'm not worried. Somehow I get the feeling that underneath this frightening-looking exterior, there's something almost human.
Me too, Chief, and I get the feeling he's trying to tell you something.
What's going on? Is Mr. Drysdale wanting his ape back? Just when we cured his dyspepsy, give him nice clothes and learn him to do something useful.
No. I'm trying to establish a rapport with him.
If he needs a rat, use this on him.
No, we'll get along just fine. Now, Miss Hathaway, I want you to take Granny and Mr. Clampett into the far end of the house, so my friend here will know I'm not afraid of him.
Well, I'll go along with that. Come on, Granny. Oh, by the way, his name is Herbie.
And don't turn your back on him. I still ain't forgot the clout on the noggin he give me.
Tommy, you struck that poor little old lady.
That poor little old lady gave me a shot in the mouth that loosened my teeth. Now, you give me my money. I'm getting out of here.
No. Not until the job is finished.
The job is finished. Pay me.
No, please, Tommy, listen to reason. The Clampetts think you're a real gorilla.
Oh, you're going to think so, too, unless you give me my dough.
Oh, no. We made a deal, and you're a professional actor.
And I'm also a wood chopper. And a nurse made to a chimp. And as soon as I get finishing ironing these flour sack drawers, that big goon Jethro's gonna hook me up to a plow. And you know something? I gotta do all that on green leaves and possum broth.
You let them bluff you. Frighten them. Beat your chest.
Every time I beat my chest, that little old lady beats my...
Oh, don't be such a baby.
Look, Mr. Drysdale, I need money for new teeth. Unless you pay me, I'm going to use yours.
Your money's at the bank.
I'll see.
Now,
you there.
just hold it, Kelly. If you walk out of me right now, you'll have a suit on your hands.
Oh. Here. Now, you got a suit in your hands. Happy plowing, Herbie.
Howdy, mister. You seen anything of Gorilla?
Yeah, he's right in the kitchen there.
Herbie! Hey, Herbie! Herb!
Jethro,
Yeah, Ellie, what do you want?
have you seen Herbie?
No, I'm looking for him, too, and I better find him before Granny does.
What do you mean?
Well, he done shed his clothes. He's gonna get himself a whooping.
No, he ain't neither. I'm tired of folks being mean to my monkey.
Well, he ain't your monkey, Ellie.
He is so.
He ain't neither.
He is.
He ain't.
Maybelle found him.
Herbie, you get into these overhauls. You got plowing to do.
You leave him be.
You must believe me when I tell you that Herbie is not a typical gorilla. I urge you to take a drive over to the zoo and look at a real, a wild one.
Wilder than Herbie?
Oh, yes, much wilder and much stronger, too. Why, that gorilla in the zoo has the strength of 12 full-grown men.
Doggy. He'd be handy to have around, wouldn't he, Granny?
Oh, no, you couldn't possibly do... Come back here with Mr. Drysdale's hat!
That's Herbie.
He stole Mr. Drysdale's hat.
Mr. Kelly, what is...
Shut up and get in.
Shame! It's all right, don't worry.
Well, Granny, he wasn't much at ironing, but he drives a car real good.
Yonder goes Herbie.
Come back.
Let him go. Good riddance.
Does appear we got a hold to a bad ape. Had a real thieving streak.
All right, Pa. And so did Maybelle.
Me too.
Please, Pa. We want a gorilla.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon we hadn't ought to judge a whole patch by one bad melon. Jethro, fetch the truck around.
Well, where are we going?
To the zoo.
And I say I'm not paying you one penny until I find out if the Clampetts are mad.
You take my word for it. They're completely mad.
Take your monkey shoot and get out of here. I had enough trouble driving to the bank wearing that thing. I even stopped traffic on the Sunset Strip.
Excuse me, Chief, but how long since you've talked to the Clampetts?
I can't get an answer up there. Why?
Oh, well, I don't know if there's any connection, but I just heard a news flash. A wild gorilla has escaped from the zoo.
Come on. Fetch him in here.
Granny, Miss Jane wasn't fooling when she said this rascal was stronger than 12 men.
And if we ever get him calmed down, he's gonna be a wood chopping, plow pulling son of a gun.
Stop that bellering, you ungrateful goober. We took you out of the zoo. You ought to be glad. I said stop it. Turn him loose. Now, come over here and sit down. I'm going to give you some possum soup.
Want to come for a swim in St. Mid Pond, Granny?
Not me, child. If the Lord had wanted me to swim around in water, he'd have given me fins.
No, you sure are gossed up. Where you going?
I'm going shopping for our Thanksgiving victuals. I hear your beau's coming to eat with us.
I ain't got no beau.
Your pa says so. Mr. Drysdale's stepson. You know, the one they call Sonny.
Shucks, I ain't never even seen him.
Way your pa tells it. He's coming to court you and spark you.
What does that mean?
You don't know what courting and sparking is?
No.
No, I guess you wouldn't at that. Well, when I get back, you and me better have a little talk.
Have you ever been courted and sparked, Granny?
Honey? When I was a girl back in Tennessee, I set so many boys' hearts on fire that they took to calling that neck of the woods the Smoky Mountains.
Well, see you later.
Daisy, you old heartbreaker. You still got it.
That's the truth. Who you stepping out with?
Ain't stepping out with nobody. I'm going to the supermarket.
What's a supermarket?
I don't know. I reckon it's kind of like a general store. But that's where you have to go to buy your victuals out here. And there's some things I need for that Thanksgiving spread.
Oh, say, speaking of Thanksgiving, we can use the big fancy eating table. I just finished notching the last pot passer.
You think they'll reach?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's give them a try.
Jethro!
Yeah, Granny? You all set to get took to the supermarket?
No, not yet. Fetch me a pot to the fancy eating room.
Yes, sir.
That sure is a mighty fine eating table.
Jethro's fetching a pot.
Granny, you gotta admit, folks built this table sure knowed what they was doing. It is built solid.
It is that. You could set a half-dozen turkey gobblers on there and never sag it a bit.
This here is a dandy idea, especially if you got young ones at the table. The plates won't slip off on the floor.
Yeah, I've sure scrubbed up a mess of pone and sorghum.
Bet nobody ever scrubbed up none from this floor.
There's been plenty spilled on the table, though.
Sorghum?
Something sticky. I can't get that green tablecloth off there. Save me.
Stuck on it?
I can't imagine anybody to lay a clean tablecloth on a sticky table.
Yeah, Granny, I reckon all women ain't as spick and span as you are when it comes to keeping house.
Here you are, Granny.
Set it in the middle of the table so we'll see if these pot passers reach.
Yeah, I reckon that'll do the trick, all right.
Ted, maybe you better whittle some sharp points on a few of them, and we can spear the meat and pass it.
Good idea, Granny. I'll do that.
How do you reckon the folks that lived here before us passed things?
Well, they probably had a big family and passed from hand to hand. That reminds me, we're having 5 for our Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, you already told me.
Company coming?
Extra special company. Ellie's beau.
Has Ellie got a beau?
She sure has.
Mr. Drysdale's stepboy, Sonny.
Him and Ellie ain't never seen each other yet. Sonny and his ma just come in from Boston. But Mr. Drysdale says his boy will be just happy to come a-courting Ellie.
I won't. I have never submitted to a blind date before, and I refuse to do it now.
Sonny, dear, do it justice once for your daddy.
He's not my daddy. He's your husband.
All right, then. Do it for stepdaddy. It seems to mean a great deal to him.
Mother, I'm the most popular man on the campuses of 3 universities. Vassar, Wellesley, and Smith. To those girls, I'm an idol, be worshipped. I can't just date anyone.
Sonny, dear, it might be fun to date someone new. Someone young, lovely, and charming.
For her, yes. But how do I know what she'll look like? No, I can't. I can't. It might cause too much of a trauma, Mama.
But your stepdaddy says she's very attractive. And it seems that she's the daughter of his wealthiest depositor, whom he wishes very much to please.
Mother, what kind of a man have you married? He's selling me for a rich man's gold. It's sordid! Oh, it is sordid! It is sordid!
No, my precious baby. I know it was wrong of me to marry a common bank president, but I wanted you to have everything, and all I could give you was the heritage of a fine old family. But it takes money, too, darling.
Money, I hate that word. Makes the rich a social equal of us.
Oh, no, dear. It could never do that.
I wish you'd read the thesis I wrote on economics last week. Money and why it is not important. You know, for a boy who's been going to college for 17 years, you haven't learned much.
Milburn, you must not throw it up to Sonny that he keeps going to college. He's trying to find himself.
Don't take my advice. Don't look. Come on, dear. Let Sonny get dressed for his date.
I'll draw him a nice hot bath.
Try not to drown.
Daddy?
Just a moment, Daddy. You called me Daddy. You've never done that before. Well, don't ever do it again.
I refuse to date a strange girl just to benefit your economic situation.
Well, I've got news for you, Sonny. My economic situation and your economic situation have a very definite relationship.
Money doesn't interest me. Who steals my purse steals trash.
Well, you will have a date with Ellie Mae Clampett, and you'll be nice to her, or I'll cut off every penny of your trash.
Milburn, did I hear you say that it's the Clampett girl you're asking Sonny to date?
That's right.
But, my dear, I haven't finished the genealogical check of their family tree. We don't know that Ellie Mae is socially acceptable for Sonny.
Good heavens.
Now, you listen to me, Sonny. Jed Clampett is thrilled at the prospect of his daughter having a date with you. A city boy, educated, refined. To him, you're a knight in shining armor, a handsome Prince Charming. He thinks you're the greatest thing that could ever happen to his daughter.
Mr. Clampett sounds like a very intelligent man.
Dear, I've heard the most disturbing reports about the Clampetts. I understand they're no better than peasants.
Good heavens, a date with a girl like that is unthinkable.
Now, Margaret, I hesitate to assert my authority. But unless I have assurance that my wishes will be carried out, I'm afraid I will have to...
Mother! Dad! Who is that?
Who is she?
Who is what, dear?
That divine creature by the pool next door.
That's the Clampett girl, Ellie Mae.
Oh, Dad, you're sensational. Of course I'll date her.
Good boy.
But, Sonny, she's not a blue blood.
The color may not be right, Mother, but I sure dig that crazy container. Oh!
Wow!
Howdy, Paul. What you doing?
Oh, I'm fixing some turkey stickers for a company meal. Oh, say, Ellie,
Yeah, Paul?
is there anything you don't know about the birds and the bees?
No. How come you to ask?
Well, I reckon these what Sonny Drysdale's been studying at school. Either that or he's partial to them.
How'd you know?
Well, when I mentioned to Miss Hathaway that you was going to be keeping company with Sonny Drysdale, she says, Mr. Clampett, she says, you better have a talk with your daughter about the birds and the bees.
Shucks, I know all about the little critter.
Well, that's what I figured, you being raised in the woods and all. But I didn't let on to Miss Hathaway. I know she's just trying to be helpful.
Granny says she's going to have a talk with me about courting and sparking.
She is. Well, I'm glad of that, Ellie. I was kind of wondering who was going to do that.
Paul, why don't you tell me about courting and sparking?
Well, Ellie, that's something that a girl's ma usually tells her about.
Well, I ain't got no ma. So why don't you tell me?
Well, Granny will do it when she comes back.
Well, what if she don't get back before Sonny Drysdale comes? Then I won't know how to court and spark him.
Well, you ain't supposed to court and spark him. That's what a feller does to a girl.
How? What does he do?
Well, he gets himself all slicked up, shaves real close, shines his shoes, puts on a stiff collar and a clean shirt. And he goes to calling on the girl, toting a nice big store-bought box of candy.
Hot diggity dog, I'm gonna like courting and sparking.
It's only the courting part. I ain't got to the sparking yet.
What's that like, Paul?
Well, she invites him to come in the parlor and sit. And they usually sit on the sofa or something, him on one end, her on the other.
Yeah?
Well, then he goes to carefully, little at a time, scooching down to where he's within reaching distance of the girl.
Sonny Drysdale gonna do that to me?
He might. And when he does, that's when a girl has got to be careful.
Don't you worry, Paul. If that rascal goes to reaching for my candy, I'll knock him clean off of that sofa.
Sonny, are you decent?
Not me. Devil.
Come in. Sonny, you're beautiful.
Mother! Girls are beautiful. Boys are handsome. Dashing. Debonair. You're right. I'm beautiful.
Well, I just spoke to Jed Clampett. He's expecting you to call this afternoon. Maybe take Ellie Mae for a drive. And tomorrow, they're expecting you for Thanksgiving dinner.
2 days? Gee, stepdad, no girl has ever been exposed to me for 2 consecutive days. What? Well, it may be unleashing forces too powerful to control.
What if the kind of girl gets serious about Sonny?
Well, we'll celebrate with the finest champagne money can buy.
Oh, no, my baby's not ready for marriage.
Margaret, he's 35 years old.
I am not. I was a leap year baby.
Now, I don't know this nonsense. Now, you climb into that expensive sports car I bought you and go calling on that girl, or so help me out.
Wilbur, please. Sonny has never been exposed to violence. Even when he was born, I gave the doctor strict orders that he was not to be spanked.
Well, it's not too late to start. Now, are you going or aren't?
I'm going. I am going.
You want me to go along?
No, Mother, dear.
Yes, you. Does that weird-looking vehicle belong to you?
No, sir.
Can you move it?
I reckon so.
Please do. It completely spoils the effect of my imported 190.
What should I do with it?
Oh, I don't care. Just get it out of sight. Hide it somewhere.
Yes, sir. Sonny Drysdale to see Miss Clampett.
Oh, come in, come in.
What you doing, Jethro?
Trying to find out how to drive this thing.
What for? Whose is it?
Sonny Drysdale. He asked me to get it out of sight for him.
All right. Just trying to surprise Ellie. Where do you say put it?
Well, he just said hide it somewheres.
Yeah, let's accommodate him. You take the front end, I'll take the back. We'll put it back of them bushes yonder.
Okay.
Is he towing a box of candy, Granny?
He sure is, honey, all tied up with ribbon. Oh, Ellie, child, you are just beautiful. Shall I sprinkle some vanilla extract on you? That? No, I better not. Sometimes that drives them wild. I didn't get to talk to you about courting and sparking.
Oh, that's all right, Granny. Pa told me.
Oh, all right, now you follow me. Don't be nervous. Here she is, Mr. Drysdale.
Thank you. You're beautiful. Divine.
Never mind me. Say something nice to her.
Hold it just a moment. What a vision you are. What a picture you make. From your golden hair down to your...
It's that for me?
Yes, yes it is.
Bet y'all can guess what it is.
Try.
It's something sweet.
Exquisitely sweet.
Something yummy.
The yummiest.
Something all girls like.
You guessed it, it's me.
You can sleep with it under your pillow.
You want to come into the parlor?
What are we going to do in there?
Talk about the birds and the bees.
Well, Scooby Doo. You peasant girls don't beat around the bush. Miss Clampett, My lips long to taste your lovely hand.
Why did you throw him?
That rascal was fixing to bite me.
Bruised it to him.
My car, where is it?
Oh, it's did good, ain't it? Ain't nobody can find where we put it.
Big oaf, I'll destroy you.
Mother! Mother! Who was that? Sonny Drysdale. Mother!
Mean critter, Jed.
Yeah, Pa, he bites.
I did him a favor, and he commenced to hitting me.
I claim us Clampets have been insulted by the Drysdales. Let's go feud them.
Now, now.
Why, we could whoop them with one hand tied behind us.
We ain't got no cause to whoop 'em, Granny.
No cause. Why, just yesterday I went over there to the Drysdales to borrow a cup of possum fat. And that butler fella that lives over there, he says to me, you wouldn't pull my leg, would you? And I said, well, one good turn deserves another. Stick it up here and I'll give it a yank. And do you know that he slammed the door right in my face? Let's go.
Now, hold on. Now, we're all going to calm down. Go next door, talk to Mr. Drysdale. We'll straighten this whole thing out. Come on.
There. Mother's baby is going to be all right. Was it just a dreadful experience, darling?
Dreadful.
Margaret, Sonny, Clampets are here.
They followed me.
Come in.
Where's Sonny? Here I am.
Well, we've straightened out the misunderstanding, and now these people have something they want to say.
Well, Sonny, I reckon this is all my fault. I'm sorry I wasn't to the door like a proper paw had ought to been.
I'm sorry I throwed you, Sonny. And I sure do thank you for that nice picture you gave me.
And I'm sorry you hurt your hand hitting me, Sonny.
And me and Jethro was sorry that we hid your automobile. We towed it back over and set it down in front of your house.
Well, I can't think of nothing I'm sorry for. But we sure would be proud to have you all come and take Thanksgiving victuals with us.
Sonny and I wouldn't think
Of passing up an invitation like that. We'll be there, all of us.
Let us say grace. We sure have got a lot to be thankful for, Lord. We got good health, good neighbors, good food. Jethro's going to school. Ellie's got a feller. I guess everything is just about fine, and we sure do thank you. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Well, Jethro, hand out the pot passers and the meat stabbers. Let's get at it.
Debbie's on drumstick.
Is the new dasher from my churn about ready?
Pretty near, Granny, but I wish you'd give up churning when you're mad. We've been getting a lot of splinters in the butter lately.
Well, you can blame Jethro for the state I'm in. I declare, Jed, that boy is turning into a first-class girl chaser.
Well, I always said, if you're going to do something, do it well.
That's it. Make a joke of it. What you ought to do is take him to the woodshed.
We ain't got a woodshed.
And they call this a mansion. He ought to do something. He's run out on his chores again today.
Well, Granny, he's likely just hired, and all you got to do is flush him out.
I say he ain't here. And I say he's where he is every day. riding up and down Wilshire Boulevard on that truck, showing off to the girls.
He ain't showing off today. I just clipped his wings. I took the steering wheel.
Mark my words, Jed, that boy is headed for trouble. He's on the road to ruination.
Well, if he is, he's walking.
Don't say I didn't warn you. And it's you that give him the 3 keys to perdition.
3 keys to perdition?
Fine clothes, fancy car, and 50 cents a week. And it's you that'll reap the harvest when the seeds of temptation is trampled on by the little foxes. Because as the rod is spared, so is the twig bent. And then the dancers has got to pay for casting the first stone.
I don't know what she said, but she sure could stir up a camp meeting with it.
Boy, driving that thing without a steering wheel sure keeps a fella hustling. I pretty near run over that little old gal.
What little old gal?
Well, that one coming up the driveway yonder.
Who is she?
I don't know.
Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy. Is this here the Clampett place?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Jed Clampett, and this here is my nephew, Jethro Bodie.
Howdy.
Howdy. I reckon y'all don't remember me, do you?
Well, you look familiar, but I just can't place you.
You remember the Fetty family? Lived back over Possum Ridge?
Why, sure. Are you one of Jake Fetty's girls?
I'm Emmeline.
Well, bless my soul. Jethro, you recollect the Fetty girl?
I sure do. Why, I used to chuck rocks at them.
Jethro's growed up a lot since then.
So she.
Yeah, well, come on in. It's mighty pleasure to see you. Jethro, where's your manners? Emmeline's tired.
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Ready?
Jethro done got married.
Down.
I warned you, Jed. I told you this would happen if you let him run wild.
They just met.
Oh, it's worse than I thought. How could you marry a stranger?
We ain't married.
No.
This little girl is from back home. She just...
I'll bet you don't recognize her, do you?
Who don't? I never forget a face.
Randy, we ain't seen this family in some time. They used to...
Now, don't tell me. I'll get her place right off. Gertrude Suckmeyer. Isabel Gooch. Frida Boggs. Florence Twitty. F.C. Holt. Fanny Bell Nichols. Lily Holmes. Lucilla Childs.
Randy.
Now, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I never forget a face.
I'll give you a little hint. Possum Ridge. Jake and Dora.
Of course. Dora Ridge. Dora Possum.
This is Jake and Dora Fetty's girl, Emmeline.
Why'd you have to tell me? I'd have got it.
Honey. Thank you, Granny.
Well, Jethro, let's get Emmeline saddled up in the spare room next to Ellie Mae.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of Ellie, put her down. I meant take her things up to the spare room.
Oh, now, wait. I just come by to make my handies. I don't aim to put my feet under your table.
Hey, looky here. A cuckoo clock.
Paul had me fetch this along to get me up mornings. He said the hotel might not have a rooster.
Oh, Emmeline, you're home, folks. We can't let you stay in a hotel.
Bus driver said that I might be able to get into the YWCA.
I wouldn't stay no place that had to be spelt in mixed company.
You're staying right here.
I sure don't want to be any bother.
Won't be no bother at all. I'll just water the soup.
Howdy.
Ellie Mae, you recognize this girl?
Now, don't waste your time, Jed. She ain't got my memory for faces. This is Emmeline Fetty from back home.
Oh, hi there, Emmeline.
Howdy, Ellie. My goodness, y'all sure wear short dresses out here.
Oh, this here's what you call a beach jacket.
Ellie, you're showing your skimpies.
This is a bathing suit.
A bathing suit?
I reckon you ain't never seen nothing like that before, have you?
I sure never. Back home, folks still takes a bath with nothing on.
Well, Ellie May explained it to you. Ellie, suppose you take Emmeline up and show her that spare room next to yours and see if she's made comfortable.
Sure will, Pa. Come on, Emmeline. Later on, we'll go swimming in a cement pond.
Jed, how come Jake and Dora didn't write us their daughter was coming to California?
Could be because they can't write.
Why'd you come?
Could be because they sent her.
What for?
Well, Granny, when you got as many young'uns as the Fetties, you don't need too big a reason for getting shed of one.
He sure had a house full, didn't he?
It is for a fact. You throwed a rock on their roof, it looked like school was letting out.
You mean this whole great big room is just for me?
Well, that's right, Emmeline.
Land sakes. Do I get that bed all to myself?
All to yourself. And you don't have to share it with no sisters.
Sure is gonna feel funny, sleeping long ways.
This here's for your clothes. It's got cedar drawers in it.
Cedar drawers? Don't you get splinters wearing those?
These kind of drawers.
Mom made these for me before I left home. They still got a little flour in them.
Listen here, Emmeline. I got a whole closet full of city clothes that folks has given me. Well, I'll go and fetch in a mess of them. You can take your pick.
I declare, y'all so good to me, it's just making my head spin. I think I better lay down for a spell. What's that thing?
Oh, that there's a telephone. Why, you can talk to folks that lives miles away from here on that.
What'll they think of next?
Well, I'll be back directly, Emmeline.
Bye, Ellie. Colonel, Rita. Okay, I'm in Fort Knox. Yeah, they fell for it. Hook, line, and spare room. Great job of research on that Fetty family. I thought there was something you dreamed up. Don't worry. I've got enough photographs and tape recordings to shake Jed Clampett loose from a cool million.
Granny, I got you a fine mess of dandelion green.
Oh, thank you, Jed. Would you mind wrenching them for me?
What else you fixing to have?
Whole cake, sow belly, and hand-slung chitlins.
Ooh, you do put it on for company, don't you?
Sorry for Emmeline, Jed. Dora Fetty never set much of a table.
Yes, I recollect that family lived mostly on hope and hedge apples.
Jed, did it ever strike you that Emmeline was uncommon pretty for a Fetty?
Well, you would have to call her the pick of the litter.
I declare the rest of them must have took homely pills.
Yeah, you could throw them Fetties in the creek and skim ugly for 2 weeks.
Granny, I'll hold your taters, milk the goat, split the kindling, and whitewash the chicken roost.
Good boy. Remember, idle hands gathers no moss, and a penny saved is worth 2 in the bush.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Jed, tell me, is that Emmeline Fetty going to be staying with us for a spell?
Well, I don't know yet. Why?
Well, do you aim to let her go running around with a slick, sophisticated Hollywood playboy?
Not if I can help it.
Oh, shucks.
You?
Oh, she's going to be expecting some thrills.
Uh-huh.
Emmeline's just a pining and honing to go swimming, but she don't want to wear no bathing suit.
What?
Go put the steering wheel on the truck.
Well, I already done that.
Well, then drive it down to the station and fill it with gas.
Well, I done that, too.
Then drive it around till it needs doing again and then do it again.
But Uncle Jed, that ain't...
Oh, boy.
Jed's already got gas.
Molly May, you give Emmeline one of your bathing suits and explain to her...
Well, I done give her one of my bathing suits, Pa, but she's scared you won't like her showing her limbs.
Well, I gotta admit, it did jolt me some when we first come out here, but seems all the young'uns do it, so tell her it's all right.
Well, I did, Pa, but she says she ain't gonna budge out of her room until you come up and tell her it's fitting.
Well, that's the way it has to be.
Who is it?
It's me, Jed Clampett. I just want to say it's all right for you to go swimming in your swimming suit. See you downstairs.
Just wait a minute. Don't go away. Oh, Mr. Clampett, it's you.
Yes, ma'am.
Gracious, and I'm standing here with my bare limbs showing. Why, I'm so ashamed.
Well, no call for you to feel ashamed, Emmeline. Things is different out here than it is back home.
Please let me go to the YWCA.
Oh, you're staying right here.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Clampett.
What? Oh, don't do what?
Don't shut the door.
All right, leave it open.
Oh, Mr. Clampett, I trust you. Honest, I do. You remind me so much of my daddy.
Well, that's funny. He wasn't no more than 5 feet tall.
Yeah. Why, he wouldn't have come up any more back here on you.
Miss Emmeline, I think that clock of yours is busted. I think I'll take it downstairs and fix it.
Oh, don't do that, Mr. Clampett. It's all right.
But that little bird keeps jumping on and cuckooing all the time.
Well, maybe it's the mating season.
Miss Emmeline, I think you better forget about swimming and have yourself a little rest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're the nicest man, Mr. Clampett.
There it goes again. Miss Emmeline, I think you and that clock is both wound up too tight.
Jed, what's taking you so long?
Well, it's the mating season for cuckoos.
What?
Well, you see, that little bird kept jumping on the clock, and Miss Emmeline said, never mind. Anyway, she ain't going swimming.
Oh, yes, I am.
Well, I thought you was all tuckered out.
Not anymore. I feel like $1 million. Colonel, Rita. Listen, you clown. Why didn't you tell me my father was 5 feet tall? Oh, I covered for it all right. And I've got some great films and tape. Okay, I'll meet you at the camera store at 2 o'clock.
Emmeline, you out here?
I've gotta go. King Kong is stalking the set.
Hey, what you doing?
Jethro, there's a bee in this gourd, and it's just a buzzing to beat the band.
Well, that ain't no gourd.
Well, it's got a vine on it.
This here is our telephone, you poor dumb country girl.
Sorry.
Oh, shucks. No, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. You won't believe this, but 4 years ago when we came here, well, I was just as big a hick as you are.
Oh, go on.
Well, yeah, it's the truth. Well, I was a regular hayseed.
You sure have changed.
Well, I reckon it's living so close to Hollywood, some of that movie star stuff just rubbed off on me.
Yeah, you're a regular Paul Newman.
Well, who's he?
Oh, he's just a fella. Sure would like to get to see Hollywood.
Well, after we have victuals, well, I'll drive you into town.
Oh, you'd be ashamed to be seen with a tacky-looking old country girl like me.
Well, heck, you ain't no more tacky-looking than Ellie Mae. In fact, you look pretty good coming from such an ugly family.
Turn my head to that kind of sweet talk.
Gotta expect a smooth line from a sophisticated playboy like me, huh?
Can we get to town by 2 o'clock? Well, I want to get back here in time for my chores.
Well, I'll check the time. Oh, let's see.
Land sakes, look at that watch.
You noticed it, huh? My Uncle Jed gave it to me. Let me pick it out myself.
It's a doozy.
See that little mouse with them short breeches and them yellow gloves? Well, his hands tell the time.
What time is it now?
I don't know. One of the hands fell off.
Excuse me, Chief. There's a Colonel Foxhall to see you.
Has he got an appointment?
No, but he says it concerns $1 million.
He's got an appointment.
Colonel.
Thank you, my dear. Colonel Foxhall? Colonel Gaylord Meriwether Foxhall, at your service, sir.
My pleasure.
Sit down. Thank you.
Well, I understand this concerns $1 million.
Yes, I believe I am conservative in valuing the contents of this portmanteau at $1 million cash.
Miss Hathaway, bring in a deposit slip.
Oh, but I'm not depositing. I am withdrawing.
What do you mean withdrawing? How can you withdraw if you haven't got any money in the bank?
Yes, sir, but I believe Mr. Clampett has a great deal of money in your bank. And it's $1 million of his that I plan to withdraw.
You a friend of Jed Clampett?
I never met the gentleman.
Miss Hathaway, what's the idea of letting this southern fried phony in my office?
An appointment?
You said he had $1 million. Now throw him out.
Mr. Drysdale, before you make any rash decisions, what does this look like to you?
Like a wild old man after a sweet young girl.
Exactly. Would you care to identify that wild old man?
Possible. Yes.
Here are some others you might care to peruse. They tell the sordid tale of a sweet, innocent country girl who was lured into the mansion of a Beverly Hills millionaire. Once inside, this frightened maiden pleaded to be allowed the sanctuary of the YWCA. But her pleas fell on deaf and decadent ears.
Now look, I don't.
Thereupon, as these pictures so clearly illustrate, the sanctity of her boudoir was brazenly invaded by this backwoods Bluebeard.
Mr. Clampett would not.
But Mr. Clampett did, my dear, and the scars upon the soul of this sweet, simple maiden can be erased only by time. Time and $1 million of cash.
This is out-and-out extortion, the old Badger game. I'm going to call the police.
Mr. Drysdale, you do lack imagination. I believe Mr. Clampett used to be an officer in your bank.
Well, Chief, you did make him vice president for a day.
So, let's look at tomorrow morning's headlines.
Commerce Bank officer in love with this scandal.
Well, that's just a dummy newspaper.
True. The real one will be profusely illustrated by these fascinating photographs.
Wrong number.
Oh, here you are, Uncle Jed. Can we have us that man-to-man talk?
Sure, sit down. Well, what do you want to talk about?
Emmeline Fetty. Can her and me get married?
Married?
Yeah, you see, she is crazy mad, desperate in love with me.
It's kind of sudden, ain't it?
I reckon. But you got to remember, she's just a plain dumb old country girl. She ain't never seen nobody like me before. Said so herself.
When did all this come about?
When I was driving her into town and back. I didn't aim for it to happen. I tried to keep the lid clamped down on my charm, but something must have slopped over.
And now she's crazy mad in love with you, huh?
Is she ever? Why, all the way home, she kept trying to get me to drive to some out-of-the-way place where we could be alone.
No fooling.
Yeah, kept asking me to get lost.
Boy, I don't believe I'd rush into anything.
But Jed, she needs a husband. Well, that's an awful dumb girl. You know that cuckoo clock that needed fixing?
Yeah?
She took it to a camera store.
You sure you want to marry a girl that dumb?
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Jed. I'm smart enough for both of us. You should have seen her face when I told her that I graduated 6th grade.
Well, that would carry weight with the Fetties. It never was long on learning.
I think it was my cipher that really put a match to her heart and set her flaming with desire.
Ciphered for her, did you?
Uncle Jed, when I got to the multiplication table at 12, it like it drove her crazy. She commenced moaning, gasping for breath, and her eyes rolled back in her head.
Good thing you didn't cipher no gazintas. She might have married you then and there.
I'll go do something for her right now. Emmeline! Hey, Emmeline!
Wait a minute, boy. We're just... Jethro, come back.
Emmeline! Oh, here you are. Hey, listen to this. 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 10 twice.
I still say the Clampetts are innocent. And Emmeline is just a Jezebel, pruded by this...
Help! Help!
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. Howdy, Miss Jane.
Jethro, come back here. Stop chasing her. Put her down. She don't belong to you yet.
Oh, yes, she does.
Oh, she don't. Come on in, folks. Sit down, Jethro.
Shocking. Shocking. Why, they're fighting over her like beasts. I'm not so sure we should settle for $1 million.
What do you think, Granny?
Oh, I like this one, Jed.
They're all good pictures. What are you asking for these, Colonel Foxhole?
Foxhall, sir. I'm asking $1 million.
$1 million?
Well, I ain't bought many pictures, but that does seem a mite steep.
Mr. Clampett, if you don't need his price, these pictures will appear on the front page of tomorrow's newspaper.
Well, there's an idea, Granny. Let's wait till tomorrow and cut them out of the paper.
Good thinking, Jed. Excuse me, everybody. I got a brace of possum in the oven.
I hope you'll stay to supper, Colonel. Granny's possum is finger-licking good.
Mr. Clampett, I find your levity and jocularity most inappropriate to the solemn occasion which has brought us together here, and I will tolerate no further sham or delay while this sweet, innocent girl suffers the pangs of purloined probity.
Well, doggy. Put him with Granny, and a pair of them would tear a camp meeting wide open.
What happened to Emmeline? Oh, there you are. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 5 goes into 24.
Please.
Oh, it drives you wild, too, huh, Miss Jane?
What are these pictures? Hey, Uncle Jed, you're kissing my girl.
Jethro.
No wonder you sent me out of the house this morning. Why, you was aiming to steal my sweetie.
Jethro.
Keep talking, boy. I'm recording every word.
Well, I'm sorry, Uncle Jed, but we's gonna have to fight us a duel.
Now, look, boy.
I'll be back quick as I can find a glove to slap you with.
Mr. Clampett, I urge you to make some sort of settlement.
Decency demands it, sir. And I say to you, if satisfaction is not...
Colonel, come down off your stump. I aim to do the right thing.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Miss Emmeline and me will be married right off. Roll to the Hills demands it. I done seen her in her skimpies and flimsies. We leave for Bug Tussle tonight. Honeymoon in Snyder's Swamp. What? And we'll move into that little shack back to Possum Ridge with your ma and pa and 17 sisters.
You gotta be out of your skull.
Now, my dear.
Drop dead. I'm blowing this caper.
Hey, Emmeline. I couldn't find the glove to swap my Uncle Jed with, but will you marry me without a duel?
Get lost.
Hot dog! Uncle Jed, she still loves me!
Piddling little pot. I've been making my spring tonic for 66 years. And this is the teensiest batch I ever whomped up.
Well, it ain't your fault, Granny. Aunt Pearl didn't send as many roots, yarbs, and berries as she generally does.
Yeah. Well, it ain't Pearl's fault neither. They've had a long, hard winter back home.
I know. She said back to our cabin, the snow was 3 feet deep.
And even deeper outside. Well, there's no use fussing over what we can't have. I'll go get some bottles, and we'll commence to cork up what we got.
Well, I'm all set to take Granny's tonic around the neighborhood.
That's gonna happen?
Helen May, will you tell that ape of yours to stop doing everything I do? I get a wheelbarrow, she gets a wheelbarrow. I paint a sign, she paints a sign.
Well, let's see your sign, Bessie.
Dumb old animal. Didn't even dot the I's. Hey, Granny, you don't want no hairy old monkey toting your tonic around the neighborhood, do you?
No, I don't, so get back to your chores.
I'm talking about that monkey.
Neither one of you is going to tote the tonic, because I ain't got enough tonic to tote. Now get, both of you.
Copycat.
We ain't going to have more than enough for just the family and a few close friends, Ellie. Now, this bottle is for Mr. Drysdale.
Ellie Mae, your monkey's whomping the tar of that little dog again.
Well, Jethro went and got her mad.
I think what she's riled about is the dog jumping in her wheelbarrow.
Ellie, you're going outside. Take my tonic skimmings and put it around my geranium.
Yes, I'm Granny.
You pick on somebody your own size. Now listen here, Artie. You stay out of Bess's wheelbarrow, or she's gonna snatch you hairless. She ain't none too fond of you to commence with. Nothing gets her riled like you messing around with her wheelbarrow. You just stay out of it, you hear? Otherwise, she might put a knot on you and then knock it off. Come on, Betsy. Let's put these tonic skimmings around Granny's geranium. Yeah. These 2 bottles are for Mr. Drysdale.
2 this year.
Special request from his wife. And this one is for Dash Riprock. I'll get that rascal to propose to Ellie if it's the last thing I ever do.
Now, hold on, Granny. Ellie ain't marrying no boy. It has to be tonic to the altar.
Why not? Back home, my tonic saved many a girl from being old maid.
Ellie ain't no old maid.
Jed, when are you going to get it through your head? When a girl passes 14, she's old maid. Passes 16, she's a spinster. And when she passes 18, forget it.
That may be back in the country, but here in California, I hear tell a girl's getting married as late as 19 or 20.
Jed, you old apple knocker. You gonna swallow a story like that?
Never mind what I swallow. You just see to it that Dash Riprock don't swallow none of that tonic.
But why, what can I do? She ain't gonna get him with her cooking. You won't let me draw down on him with a 12 gauge. What else is there?
Love.
Love.
Love. If and when Dash Riprock proposes to Ellie, it'll be on account of love, and that's my final word.
All right, Jed. Whatever you say. You're the boss.
Good.
I'll take these 2 bottles over to Mr. Drysdale.
Fine.
It'll be for love. Dash is gonna love my tonic.
What's going on here? What is this?
Well, haven't you heard? Miss Hathaway is engaged to be married.
Oh!
What?
No, Miss Murray, I'm not officially engaged. I've only received a proposal.
Back to work, all of you. And no coffee break this morning. Who proposed?
None other than the esteemed founder of Biddle's Bird Watchers, Professor P. Casper Biddle himself.
Is this not back in town?
Chief.
Well, I thought he lived up in the Tehachapi Mountains with those condors.
He does. Consequently, our only communication is by carrier pigeon. This morning as I was having breakfast, this winged messenger of love lit upon my windowsill with a brief but thrilling communique attached to her tiny leg.
He proposed by pigeon?
Yes, and bird lover that he is, he couched his proposal in the language of the ornithologist. He asked me to be the mother of his nestling.
Miss Hathaway, you wouldn't really marry that bird brain, would you?
Whether or not I accept his proposal, I must ask you to show the respect due the commander-in-chief of Biddle's Bird Watchers, of which I have the honor to be flockmaster of the Beverly Hills nest.
Okay.
While his work in the preservation of the condor... Commander Biddle.
Stand at ease, Flockmaster Hathaway. You're not in uniform. Mr. Drysdale?
Aye.
You received my message.
Yes, but how did you get here so quickly?
Helicopter. This is an errand of the utmost urgency.
Oh, really?
What is your answer?
Oh, I need time to think.
There's no time. Say yes. Quickly, please. I need you.
Oh, but please, you're sweeping me off my feet. This is unfair.
Yeah.
I like it. Do you mind?
I'm sure this will help you decide. It's a condor egg, which the mother was forced to abandon.
Oh, this is a magnificent gift, Professor, but...
It's not a gift. I want you to hatch it.
This is the nestling you asked her to mother?
Yes.
Oh, fine.
You seem the ideal person. You're a bird lover. You sit here all day.
You expect me to sit on this egg?
Oh, no, of course not. I'm going out now and get you a small incubator. Just keep the egg warm.
Hold on, Biddle.
Biddle.
Biddle Schmiddle. He's not hatching any buzzards in my bank.
Well, it's the little professor. How are you?
I'm in a terrible hurry, Granny. Matter of life and death. I'll be right back.
Mr. Drysdale, I want to talk to you alone.
Yes, Granny.
Where'd you get the egg, Miss Jane?
Oh, Professor Biddle brought it to me.
I'd sure like to get a look at his chickens.
My dog is Ellie. When you put on a dress, you are prettier than a Jersey heifer in a clover patch.
Bob.
Where you going all gussied up?
Well, no place. Granny said to fix up for when Dash Riprock comes by to propose.
Granny said Dash was going to propose?
Well, yes, sir. Said I ain't gonna be an old maid no more.
Ellie, honey, you ain't a old maid.
Well, Granny says I am. An old maid, a spinster, and pretty near to forget it.
Did she say anything about her tonic?
No, sir. It's still in a kettle on the stove.
You rang, Chief?
You bet I rang. Granny has told me of a shocking and disgraceful situation which must be remedied immediately, or there will be swift and severe retaliation.
Yeah, well. Did I tell you that?
Yes, you said that Dash Riprock had been playing fast and loose with Ellie Mae.
Oh, that. Yeah. He's had 5 dates with her. Twice he kept her out till pretty near 9 o'clock. And still no ring on her finger.
Shocking, disgraceful.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but what can I do?
See that he swallows this.
Yeah, see to it.
What is it?
My spring tonic.
Her spring tonic.
And if he's got one spark of love in his heart, that'll set it to blazing.
Marvelous stuff. Fabulous.
It sure put a tiger in your tank last spring.
Yes. Oh, well, I grabbed my wife. None for me this year.
You should have said so. I already left 2 bottles at your house.
You mean Margaret already got them?
I reckon so. Back home, my spring tonic has done more for romance than hay rides.
Yes, I know it possesses some rather remarkable properties. Tell me, Granny, do you have an extra bottle?
I'm afraid not.
She can have mine.
Your wife has likely downed both bottles by now and probably hollering for more.
I may have to go out of town on business.
Well, first I want to talk to you about Ellie's wedding. Now we want the best that money can buy. You can hire a $5 preacher.
Oh, Commander Biddle, I see you found an incubator.
Flockmaster Hathaway, if you were in uniform, I would strip you of rank and empty your canteen.
But why?
The charge is child neglect. Another 3 minutes and that precious condor egg would have been cold. Then the charge would have been... I'm beginning to wonder if you can be trusted to hatch this nestling.
Oh, yes, I can. It's just that I have other duties and my employer...
Nothing supersedes your sacred duties as a mother. Perhaps the flockmaster of the Glendale nest...
Oh, no, please, give me another chance. I promise to watch the egg devotedly.
Forsaking all others?
Yes.
In sickness and in health?
Yes.
For better or for worse?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me, I thought I heard a wedding.
Merely Miss Hathaway vowing to be a good mother.
Then it's definite.
Yes, it's all set. She knows.
Congratulations to you both. When is the big event?
Well, any time now, a condor egg...
Miss Murray, perhaps you could get the professor Pecas for a cup of coffee.
No, thanks.
A tea?
I never partake of stimulants in any form. Pure mountain spring water is Mother Nature's champagne.
Oh, let me fill your canteen. We have pure spring water in our cooler. Be right back.
Oh, Miss Hathaway, I'm so happy for you.
Well, we're keeping it a secret. You must promise not to tell anyone.
Not so.
Is this right? Is it decent? Is it honorable? No.
I never realized the pangs of expectant fatherhood. I'm as nervous as a gilded flicker.
Here, Commander, have a deep, soothing draught of spring tonic. Oh, water. Nature's champagne.
Thank you. To that unborn king of the sky.
Bottoms up.
You don't have any.
I drank my fill at the cooler.
To the condor.
Long live the king!
May he reign forever.
Supremus Skylorum Imperator!
Flockmaster Hathaway.
Yes.
Did I ever tell you that you look remarkably like a condor?
That's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
I can believe that. I mean, after all, what is more beautiful than a Gymnogyps californianus?
Here, here.
Miss Jane, Miss Granny. Oh, hi there, Professor Biddle.
Ellie Mae, sweet, lovely child of nature, calls the crested jay from his perch and tames the wild corvus rhynchorhynchus.
You were saying, Commander?
Yes, I was saying. What was I saying?
I gotta rush home. My tummy is commencing to eat through my kettle.
Bye, y'all. Nice to see you again, Professor.
Wait for me. I'm going with them.
Why not?
But I want to watch Ellie charm the birds from the trees. I think I'm in love with her.
Jasper, how can you be so fickle? I thought you cared for me. Are you going to tell me now that I'm just another pretty face?
Well, no.
Think of the baby condor who will soon occupy that incubator. Are you going to desert him?
I can't help it. All of a sudden, I want to fly like an eagle.
Be my guest.
Now see what you've done. Oh, thank goodness they got away.
Don't stop here. Drive me around to the kitchen. I gotta save my tonic.
Yes. That Kittle story got her home in a hurry, didn't it?
Sure did.
Oh, you got company.
Dash Rip Rock?
Oh, that little bird-watching fella, Professor Biddle.
Well, we just saw him down to the bank. How'd he get here so fast?
Well, he was running when I seen him. Anyways, he's waiting for you.
In the parlor?
No. No, he's sitting up yonder, drinking out of his canteen, whistling like a bird.
How did he get up there?
Ellie Mae, you should have seen it. He ran up that tree just like a squirrel. If I didn't know better, I'd swear that little rascal had been tonic.
Come on, Jethro. Tote him in.
Reckon you're gonna be all right?
Oh, sure. I checked him over. Just had the wind knocked out of him.
I don't wonder. You must have dropped 30 foot out of that tree.
Good thing you fell in the doctor's yard, Professor.
I don't think he can talk yet.
Well, put him on the sofa in the parlor here. I'll fetch something to bring him around.
Jed Clampett speaking. Oh, howdy, Miss Jane. No, he's here. Just fell out of the tree. Oh, Granny's got him in hand. Her and Ellie.
Ellie? Mr. Clampett, don't leave the professor alone with her. He's under the influence of Granny's tonic. I'll get there as quickly as I can.
How you feeling, Professor?
Oh, he's coming along just...
Ellie Mae, you better go fetch Granny. I think the professor's a mite feverish.
Well, yes, sir, Pa.
No, I'm fine now, but how did I get here? Last I remember, I was at the bank.
Well,
Incidentally, I can highly recommend their water.
I just talked to Miss Hathaway. She'll be right over.
But she mustn't desert our unborn king of the sky.
What?
Flockmaster Hathaway is hatching a condor egg for me.
Professor, I think you better lay back down.
Here you are, Professor. A little of my spring tonic will have you feeling sprightly again. Oh, it's all right, Jed. I cut it for city folks, and I cut it some more for him.
All the same, I don't think he ought to have any.
Who's the doctor here? You or me?
You, but...
Thanks just the same, Granny, but I never partake of stimulants in any form. Pure spring water is all I ever drink.
Would you like one of my home-baked cookies?
Yeah.
No.
That's 2-1. Girls, I gotta talk to you.
Nature's champagne.
Please let me go get him, Chief.
I can't do it. I'm leaving town.
But I don't dare leave him up there with Ellie. He's been tonicked.
So has my wife. That's why I'm leaving town. And in fact, Ravenswood is packing for me right now.
Miss Murray can take over. It's terribly important to me.
Miss Hathaway, I can't believe that you really want to marry that overage Cub Scout.
Well, I'm not at all sure that I do, but I still want him to ask me.
Why?
Well, I've never had the chance to say yes. I'd at least like the chance to say no.
All right, go get him.
Thank you, Chief. Well, would you like me to stop at your house and bring your bag along?
Of course not. She's the reason I'm leaving. Oh, you mean?
Jed! Hey, Uncle Jed, that little professor shimmied up that tree again.
Oh, he must have got a hold of some more tonic.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't give him any. I'll climb up and fetch him down, Pa.
Oh, Ellie, you stay away from him.
Heck, fire. I'll get him down out of that tree.
Oh, hold it, boy. Them high limbs up where he's sitting wouldn't hold the likes of you or me.
Oh, I wasn't figuring to climb up after him. I'd just knock him down out of there with one of Ellie's cookies.
You won't later.
Well, he sure ain't any good for eating.
Now, calm down, everybody. I'll go up and get him.
No, Granny, you're too old. A 30-foot fall at your age, you could be stove up for a whole day.
What will we do?
We'll figure something.
What, Master Hathaway? Have I ever told you you look remarkably like a condor?
Be careful! Think of your responsibility! If you fall, that egg won't have a father!
Howdy, Miss Jane. I reckon you seen him.
Yes, how did he get up there?
Granny's tonic.
Have you got any more?
Yeah, I got a few.
Why'd you do that?
I'm going up after him.
Have you seen Miss Hathaway?
Not for a couple of hours.
Her and the little bird watching professor left here together.
She was supposed to pick up my luggage. I tried to sneak out of the house just now, and my wife almost caught me.
Why are you running from your wife?
Why am I running from my wife? Because... Why am I running from my wife? I love that little woman.
Greetings, dear friends. Congratulations are in order.
Did you two get married?
No, but the professor did propose.
She turned me down.
And what's the congratulations for?
May I tell?
Of course.
We have just become the proud foster parents of a 7-pound condor.
Come, be Casper. We must make arrangements for the sitter. Tom!
Hey, you want to see something you won't believe?
We just seen it.
Not this you ain't. Ellie's chicken is playing the monkey's piano.
How long do you reckon it'll take us to get home, Paul?
Jethro figures about 6 days, hard driving. Where are you going with that wood?
Oh, Granny wants it on the truck.
Put it down. With all the wood we got back at the cabin, we sure ain't going to haul none from Beverly Hills.
Oh, she says it's for on the way.
On the way? Granny, what in the world are you doing?
I'm making sure we don't freeze to death.
It's warm here.
Won't be when we get in the mountains.
You figure to keep that thing burning for us 6 days?
And 6 nights. Don't forget, it's December every other place but here. That blame California. The weather's as mixed up as the people. I'll be glad when I get back where there's some snow and ice.
I can't wait to see Ma and Jet Green.
Yeah, it'll be my fine Christmas present for your ma and your sister, or us dropping in on them like this.
Now tell me again, exactly what did Marie say?
Simply said the Clampetts were loading their truck and appeared to be moving out.
Why? What could have happened? Who offended them? Whoever it was, I'll have them driven out of Beverly Hills.
Chief, don't get so upset. I know a man with $25 million in your bank is...
Is that why you think I'm upset? Because Jed Clampett has $25 million in my bank?
Isn't it?
Of course not. The thing that upsets me is the fact he might take it out.
I don't know whatever happened to the key to that door, but I reckon with our stuff out of there, ain't nothing left anybody want to take, except some old pictures.
Oh, Miss Hathaway says a couple of them pictures is Rembrandt.
All right, after Christmas, we'll see he gets them back.
Where are you going?
Going home.
What? Oh, please, you can't go away and leave me like this.
All right, climb on. I reckon we got room for you.
Oh, my heavens, we caught you before you left.
Granny, is there room for two back there?
Yeah, if you want to squat next to the stove.
No, we don't want to go with you. We want you to stay here.
We'll be back after Christmas.
Well, Mr. Clampett, if you want to go home for Christmas, let me make the arrangements. I'll have you there tonight.
Tonight?
Clean back home?
Yes, and you'll arrive in style, too. Well, Miss Hathaway, I think Granny and Ellie Mae should have mink coats for the trip, don't you?
Of course.
Well, let's go take care of it, and the reservations, too. Mr. Clampett, you start unloading the truck and leave everything to us. You'll be home in 5 or 6 hours on the jet.
Buster. What's a jet, Pa?
I don't know, bus or jitney, I reckon.
Get us here tonight?
You heard what he said. Well, that will be a surprise to Pearl.
Uncle Jed, it took us 6 days to get out of here. How are we going to get back home in 5 or 6 hours?
That bus driver must know a doozy of a shortcut.
Pat, have we got plenty of champagne and caviar?
I guess so. Why?
The entire first-class section has been reserved for a family of VIPs, the Clampetts.
Wow.
Young ladies, I presume you've been advised of special arrangements for the Clampett family?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Certainly have. Here they come now. Oh, get a load of those minks. Granny, Ellie Mae, right this way. I'm sure you'll be quite comfortable in the lounge. Wait.
Uh-oh. How did they get past the gate?
Let's get them out of here before the Clampetts see them. I'm afraid you're in the wrong section. May I see your tickets, please?
Well, I don't think we got any. See, this bus sure is fancy.
Bus? You've come to the wrong place. You want the bus station. Now, just go back the way you came and ask for the Traveler's Aid. Now, they'll help you.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, ma'am. Granny, Ellie Mae, come on. We're on the wrong bus.
Mr. Clampett, what's the trouble? This is Mr. Clampett? Of course. Right this way. Jethro? Here, Jethro. Keep the tickets. Now, Mr. Clampett, you have the money Mr. Drysdale gave you.
Yes, ma'am. Right here.
A limousine will meet you and take you to Pearl's house. And Mr. Drysdale is phoning ahead to Mr. Brewster to be sure your cabin is in order.
Well, don't let him give away a surprise to Pearl.
Oh, he won't. Well, happy landing, Merry Christmas, and au revoir.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
And Jethro, here's something for you if you promise to bring it back to me. Take good care of them, and remember, the tall, young, good-looking one is mine. Now fasten your belt.
Well, I ain't wearing one, ma'am. Just my Gallisons.
I meant your seatbelts.
Doggies. This is a fancy bus. Looks like the bus is commencing to pull out.
Now we'll see if this bus driver knows an all-fired fancy shortcut.
That's you and me watch the road so we can remember it.
Okay, Jethro.
If you ask me, this bus driver of ours is lost. Just keeps us circling and a turning.
You know there's no shortcut yet.
Ding, ding.
Listen to him erasing that engine.
Yeah, but the wheels must be spinning in the mud. We ain't moving.
He got her out of the mud.
Yeah, we're moving now. Look at this split, too.
My doggies, if he gets to going much faster, this thing is going to leave the ground.
but it is leaving the ground.
Jethro, you better get up there and tell that bus driver to slow down.
Ain't got time for that. Let's get off of this thing before it gets any higher.
Now, wasn't that a smooth takeoff?
You may unfasten your seatbelts anytime you like. Would you folks like some champagne caviar? Or would you prefer a nice hot meal?
We have steak, chicken, fish, anything you like.
Oh, no thanks. We had a mess of grits and jowls before we left home.
Perhaps you'd like to relax then. Take a little nap.
There.
Whoop. Doggies, Granny, ain't that something?
It's good for my rheumatiz.
Now, if there's anything else that we can do to make your trip more comfortable, just press the little button.
And we'll be right here.
Them girls ain't a bit scared.
Sure is friendly, too. Offering to share their food with us.
Still want me to go up and talk to the bus driver, Uncle Jed?
I reckon not, Jethro. Don't nobody else seem skittish, and we don't want folks to think this is our first bus ride.
Howdy, Pearl.
Homer Winch, when are you gonna learn not to walk into a body's house without a body inviting you?
Well, I rang and you didn't come.
You didn't give me time, you old coot. Now don't you never do that again. Get out of my parlor.
I like you when you're mad, Pearl. You're an exciting woman.
Homer, you get out of here. I don't have time for your foolishness. Jethrine and me's going to California to spend Christmas with Cousin Jane.
Well, and I reckon you don't care to hear what I got to say.
That's right.
About Mr. Brewster.
Mr. Brewster?
Yeah, that tall, good-looking city fella who works for the oil company. Drives that big car.
What about him? Is he in town?
I've been ordered from your parlor, Pearl. I think I'd best be going.
Homer, I didn't mean it. Please, Homer, you tell me about Mr. Brewster, and I'll bake you a sweet potato pie.
Well...
And for dessert, red horse swimming in elderberry wine.
You're an exciting woman, Pearl.
Tell me.
Well, you see, he stopped over at the Emporium to get some cheese and crackers. Said he was going to be over at Jed's cabin alone all day, and he didn't have no food.
Thank you, Homer. Merry Christmas.
Now, wait a minute, Pearl. You ain't going to do me out of my tater pie, are you?
Well, of course not. You get it.
Well, when?
Well, I'll let you know. I'm busy right now. Bye, Homer.
Ding, dang, darn it, I done it again. Let some pretty woman twist me around her finger. I hate to go home. Mama's going to give me the ticket.
Jed.
Hey, Granny.
I just had a terrible thought.
What's that?
Suppose we get to Pearl's house and she ain't there.
Where would she be?
Out chasing that Brewster fella, that's where.
Ah, she ain't likely to catch him in her horse and buggy.
Whoa, Bessie. Now, Bessie, I play my cards right. You get to keep that there blanket permanent. Because I'm going to have something else to keep me warm. A husband. Ain't that a beautiful word, husband? Husband. And what's more, I'll be riding in that big, fancy automobile. So you can retire to pasture with that good-looking racehorse from Hot Springs.
Well, I thought I heard a horse. Mrs. Modine. Won't you come in?
Well, thank you. It's mighty cool today, ain't
Yes,
it?
it is. Well, it's nice to see you again. I'm sorry it's so cold in here. Didn't bother to build a fire in the fireplace, and I'm afraid that kerosene stove doesn't put out much heat.
Well, I can't stay but a minute. I just came by to give you this and say Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Oh, you shouldn't have.
Oh, it's just something that I made myself.
Oh, that's nice.
Land to mercy. Look at this place. Why, you men just can't manage alone, can you? It takes a woman.
Oh, please don't bother. I won't be here. You see, I'm going home to Tulsa for the holidays.
I won't go to no trouble. I'll just throw together a little snack, and while you're eating, I'll tidy up a bit.
This is the most fantastic miracle I've ever seen. The way you produced this banquet right out of thin air. Ham, fried chicken, roast pork, and this delicious sweet potato pie.
That's my own special recipe. Here, wash it down with some red horse and elderberry juice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is sensational juice. But, Mrs. Bodine, I just can't eat another bite. Why, Mrs. Bodine, what have you done to this cabin?
Oh, do you see a difference?
And where did you get those curtains?
I just run them up while you was eating.
Really, you are a remarkable woman. You cook, sew, you're a wonderful housekeeper.
And I love it. It ain't work to me at all. It's pure enjoyment.
Mrs. Bodine, I know that this must seem awfully sudden to you, and I know you have lots of ties, lots of activities here in the hills, but I was wondering, do you think you could possibly be happy living in a city like Tulsa?
Tulsa? That's where you live, ain't it?
Yes, I have a very nice home there, but frankly, it needs you, and I think Mother will agree.
You want me to meet your mother?
Well, actually, it isn't necessary, and I know Mother will approve my choice. You don't have to give me your answer immediately. You just think it over.
Yes, that's my answer. Yes.
But we haven't even discussed money.
I'll give you every cent I make.
Mrs. Bodine, as my housekeeper, I will be paying you.
Housekeeper.
That would carry for Mother. Oh, incidentally, Mother's just going to love this elderberry juice. What's the matter? Do something?
You shorted. You let me cook for you. You let me sew for you. Hand me the ham. You let me house clean for you. Now then, I don't know what it takes to get engaged in Tulsa, but in these here hills, you've done enough to get yourself promised, hitched, and honeymooned.
Really, Mrs. Bodine, I didn't mean to.
I'm going to Beverly Hills to spend Christmas with my cousin Jed. And when I tell him what you done, he ain't gonna take kindly to it.
What, Mrs. Bodine? I give you my word that
You give me my hand-knit socks. Your feet can't get no colder than they are right now.
Drysdale. Pearl is on her way to California to see them.
Well, can you catch her in time?
Oh, I think so. She's driving a horse and buggy. I'll tell her family's on the way.
No, this is a surprise.
Well, then what'll I say?
Well, say anything to keep her there until the Clampetts arrive, and I'll get over to Pearl's.
Oh, no, she might misconstrue. You see, I have a very delicate situation here.
Yes, you certainly have. And if you spoil Jed Clampett's Christmas surprise, he'll cut off your oil.
But Pearl might think I want to marry.
Merry Christmas to you, too. Bye.
Hello? Oh, boy.
Here's the sweet potato pie and red horse, I promise.
Hey, there's a piece of this pie missing. And a gulp or two of these red haws. Who got it, Pearl?
None of your business. Now get along. Jethrine and me is leaving for California.
Yeah, I won a whole pie just like I was promised.
Now you get out of here before I throw you out of here. Men is all alike. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
You're an exciting woman, Pearl.
Don't you even speak to me. There ain't a man alive worth the powder it'd take to blow him to you nowhere. There's just a bunch of low-down, no-good Mr. Brewster!
Mrs. Bodine, I hope you're not angry at me any longer.
Angry at you? Why, don't be ridiculous. Oh, here, have some more sweet potato pie and some red horse.
Oh, this is a rascal been trying to steal my woman and my pie. I'm going to give you such a... Oh, I think I throwed my dang knee out.
And I'm going to throw out the rest of you.
You see, in my business, what I mean to say is that I'm away from home a lot. And, well, I think that a husband should, that is, what I mean to say is that, in my opinion, could I have another slug of that elderberry juice?
No, you cannot. Now then, I've been sitting here for 3 solid hours listening to you, and you have yet to say one word that a widow woman could get her teeth into. Jethrine, bring the suitcases.
Oh, please don't go.
I ain't listening to one more word you got to say lest you say it on your knees. Don't come in yet, Jethrine. Say it.
Please don't go.
You are the slipperiest man that ever lived. Come on, Jethrine. You get out of my parlor and you stay out.
You want me to throw him out, Ma?
He can walk. Homer Winch, is that you again?
No, Pearl, it's us. Merry Christmas, Jethrine.
Uncle Jed.
Why, you have grown... Mr. Brewster, what are you doing?
Mr. Clampett, if you'd been just 1 second later, I'd have been engaged to your cousin Pearl.
Go back out, everybody! Please, Mr.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to
You're nothing but a two-timer, Homer Winch. Pearl told me about you sparking her, you old rascal, you.
You're exciting when you're mad, Granny. Hey, how about going for a little sleigh ride with me?
You promise to behave?
Sure I do.
Well, we might as well stay here and sing.
Wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Jed Clampett, where were you going on Wednesday morning dressed up like Saturday night?
To Hollywood, to that moving picture studio Mr. Drysdale bought for me.
What you gonna do over there?
Well, make pictures, I reckon. Seeing as how I own the place, the least I can do is to give him a hand.
It ain't hands they need over there in Hollywood. It's heads. Heads, the whole kit and caboodle of them.
Granny, I got to admit them movie folks do act like there's a few straws shy of a bale.
Their thinkers are puny. Why, the sun was shining bright as you please outside. Where do you think they were making and shooting pictures? Inside, with the lights on.
Yeah, I did think that was mighty wasteful. But what got me was the way they kept dragging stuff indoors. to make the indoors look like outdoors, when they could have stayed outdoors instead of coming indoors in the first place. Jethro!
If you take my advice, you'll forget the whole crazy business.
Well, now, Granny, Mr. Drysdale must be counting on me to make movies. Why else would he buy me a movie studio?
It's a real estate investment.
Real estate investment, a movie studio?
Of course. It's the land that's valuable. Now, look what 20th Century Fox did with just a part of their lot. Century City.
You mean you do that with Mammoth?
Why not? I'll call it Clampett City. In fact, I've got architects working on the plans right now.
But, Chief, that studio's been a Hollywood landmark. Why, movie history has been made there for 50 years.
That's long enough. Now, let's make some money there. And this project will make millions. Millions. Millions.
But, Chief...
Never interrupt me when I'm saying that word.
Mr. Drysdale, you may have a steel vault for a heart, but suppose Mr. Clampett wants to continue making movies at Mammoth.
That's very funny. If there's one thing in this world that would not appeal to Jed Clampett, is the phony, tinsel, and nonsense business of making movies.
What kind of movies are you going to make, Paul?
Well, they tell me that the best kind is what they call hits. So I reckon I'll make mostly them.
What about making one with critters?
I might do that. That Rin Tin Tin and Strongheart does right good.
You can use any of my critters you want to.
Well, thank you. I'll study on it. If that Jethro don't get down here and drive me over to the studio, I ain't gonna have time to make more than 1 or 2 movies today. Jethro, what's keeping you?
Jed, I put up some victuals for you to take along.
I thought you was getting me going.
Well, I've been thinking it over. We ain't seen a good movie since we left the hills. Maybe you can make some.
Well, I'll sure do my best if I can round up some of them big stars like Hoot and Buck Jones, William S. Hart, Dustin Farnham, them fellas.
Invite them to have lunch with you, Jed. When they hear what's in that basket, they'll jump at the chance.
Well, what all you got for me?
Everything from crow gizzards to sow belly, including crawdads, fatback, and hand-slung chitlins.
I reckon even movie stars don't eat like that every day.
You round them up, Jed.
I'll do my best if you'll round up Jethro. Tell him I'll be waiting on the truck.
Jethro! You want a hickory stick laid across the back of your lap? Jed, listen.
Granny, you ought to see the mess I found outside.
You ought to see the mess I found upstairs.
Jethro?
Yes. He said that you told him he could be a movie producer, and now he's going to look like one.
What do you say, Dom? You want to be in pictures?
I'll go cut a hickory stick.
J.D., the way I size up this here picture biz, you have got to be baffled with the box office to recoup your widescreen. And I mean, that's even before the director yells negative. There is producer talk.
What does it mean?
I don't know. But I seen these producers over at your studio yesterday, and that's the way they talk. And this is the way they looked.
You mean getting green around the gill?
You want to take him to the woodshed, or should I?
Granny, I kind of think that cigar done whooped him first.
Uncle Jed, would you mind if I commence producing movies tomorrow?
Oh, go on up and go to bed. Well, I reckon I better call up that Mr. Chapman that runs the studio and tell him the bad news.
Ain't you going?
Yeah, but it'll take a spell. That studio is about a 7 or 8 mile walk.
No wonder Drysdale wants to turn this studio into a real estate development. We haven't shown a profit in 2 years. And you're supposed to be my 4 top producers. Have you turned out a money-making picture in the last 2 years?
No, sir.
How about you?
No, sir.
You?
Oh, no, sir. No, sir.
A fine bunch of nephews you are. Well, just don't sit there. Somebody answer the phone.
Conference room. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Chapman cannot be disturbed. He'll be tied up all day. Goodbye, Mr. Clampett.
Clampett! He owns a studio! Call him back!
Well, that sure is mighty friendly of you, Mr. Chapman, but I can walk over easy as not.
No, no, no. If you're sure you want to come, I'll send my car for you. Oh, you're sure, huh? Okay. Somebody go and get Mr. Clampett. I'm sending my own nephew to pick you up. Oh, that's all right. I got plenty left.
By the way, Mr. Chapman, Granny and me is right partial to cowboy pictures. You making any?
You bet we are. Who's got a picture shooting?
I have, Uncle Larry.
I have a producer with me now. He's right in the middle of a cowboy picture.
What? Well, that sure is good news. See you directly. Bye.
Goodbye.
Uncle Larry, I'm making a horror picture.
Every picture you make is a horror picture.
I mean, it's one of those chillers. The creature that ate Pasadena.
So switch it to a Western. Call it The Creature That Ate Dodge City.
Dodge City? It's 1,000 miles away.
Shoot it on the back lot. We've got a Western street.
What'll I do with my monster?
Give him a gun, a 10-gallon hat, and put him on a horse.
Uncle Larry, I have been yesing you for 4 years. For 4 long years.
You want to try for 5?
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
Now hear me and hear me good. Our one chance to keep this studio open is to keep Jed Clampett happy. If he loses interest, that banker will come in here with a bulldozer and we'll all be selling used cars. Our own. Understand?
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
You see that he gets the most beautiful office in this studio.
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
And you see that he gets the most beautiful secretary.
Yes, sir, Uncle Larry.
Oh, are you going to stay here?
Where can I go? I just gave up my office and my secretary. Come on, hurry up. The front gate said Mr. Clampett just arrived.
Well, we won't have time to put his name on the door.
That's all right, just as long as you get mine off. Mr. Clampett, welcome to Mammoth Pictures, home of the cowboy movie.
Yeah, thank you. There's my old hound dog, Duke.
A magnificent animal. Let me help you. Let me take this. What is it?
There's everything in there from crow gizzards to sow belly.
Well, we can get a steak from the commissary. He doesn't need to eat junk like that.
The victuals is for me.
Excuse me. Miss Swenson, this lovely young lady is Miss Swenson. She's going to be your secretary.
Yeah, howdy, ma'am.
How do you do, Mr. Clampett?
She'll be your girl Friday.
Oh, well, I'll see you then.
That simply means she's going to be your assistant. She'll have the office next to yours and be at your beck and call constantly. Now, would you mind showing Mr. Clampett to his office, please? I must be running. Excuse me, please.
Certainly. Right in here.
Well, so long. Come on, Duke. Well, now, this is right nice, ain't it, Duke?
I hope you'll be comfortable, Mr. Clampett.
Hey, you got a right nice office, too.
Oh, no, Mr. Clampett, this is yours. I'll be out there in the reception area.
Oh, well, all right, if that's the way you want it.
Yes, it is. You see, I'll be taking calls and receiving visitors.
Pretty as you are, I bet you get a lot of them, too.
No, Mr. Clampett, you're the one who'll have the callers.
Oh, that's mighty flattering of you, ma'am, but don't let these fancy duds fool you. I ain't much of a ladies' man.
Yes. Well, is there anything I can do? Would you like me to set up a luncheon appointment for you?
Yeah, yes, I would. I'd like you to invite Hoot Gibson, William S. Hart, and Dustin Farnham to come over and share victuals with me. Well, you too, of course.
Mr. Clampett, you must be joking.
Shucks, no, there's plenty here for all of us.
Mr. Drysdale, I beg of you, reconsider your plans to demolish the studios. It's a hallowed haven of Hollywood memories.
It's a hallowed haven for Chapman's relatives, and the sooner we turn it into Clampett City, the better.
Well, hi there, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane. Y'all come right on in.
Is your father here?
Oh, no, sir. He's over to movie-making studio making movies.
Aha! See, Chief?
What kind of movies?
Yes.
Now, just a minute. Hits is what I'm going to make.
Paul says he's going to make his.
Well, okay then. I'll just make blockbusters and smashes.
Jethro!
What do you say, Dom? You want to be in pictures?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You do?
Yes.
I wonder what I'm supposed to say now.
Jethro, what is this nonsense? You can't be serious about making movies.
The heck I ain't. I'm going to be the biggest producer in Hollywood. I'm going to get me the biggest stars. Fellers like, Kim Novak. And I'm going to make singing, talking, dancing musicals with the Anders sisters and the Warner Brothers. And I'm going to...
What, Jethro?
I'm going to go back to bed. This movie producing is killing me.
Excuse me, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Something happening?
Well, yes, there's a Mr. Drysdale in my office. He wants to know if you can see him.
Yeah, I can see him plain as day.
No, I meant he wants to see you.
Oh. Look this way, Mr. Drydale. Here I am. Come on in. Excuse the looks of the place. When they put the floor down, they didn't cover up all the dirt, so stuff has commenced to grow.
You mean all this?
Yeah, but don't worry. Tomorrow I'm going to wear my old clothes and I'll get this all weeded out here and I'll fill it in with cement.
Don't waste a moment on this place, Mr. Clampett. I'd like to tear the whole studio down.
Oh, well, now, don't do that. I'm sorry I complained. A little dirt and brush don't bother me. I kind of like it.
No, not for that reason. Now, I have a plan to replace the studio with a housing development, and we'll call it Clampett City.
Clampett City?
Think of that. Your name perpetuated for all time. In guidebooks, geographies, on road maps. Clampett City. With streets like Ellie Mae Avenue, Granny Boulevard, Jethro Street.
Well, that sounds fine, but what'll happen to the studio?
This studio has lost money ever since Chapman took it over.
Yeah, but he's doing his level best. Why, he's got all his kinfolks working to help out.
Mr. Clampett, those relatives of his are grifters, malingerers. They pad the payroll, they featherbed.
Oh, yeah, they pitch in and do everything. Awful nice bunch of people. I sure would hate to see them lose their job.
All right. We won't touch the studio to start with. There's plenty of room in the back lot, and nobody will lose their jobs. What do you say?
Well, it sure would pleasure my family to have streets named after them. I reckon I'd be more useful trying to help build a town than to make moving pictures. Why, I can't even get a star to have lunch with. Jethro, you can put them stakes on the truck. I reckon we got enough to lay out our streets.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Boy, we sure gonna need a lot of string.
Don't worry about that. Granny's been saving the string since the year one.
I'm all ready to lay out Granny's Boulevard.
All right, climb aboard, everybody.
Jed, where did you say our town's gonna be?
Oh, out behind the studio on something they call a back lot.
Clampett City, here we come. Lunch, everybody.
How long have we got for lunch?
Half hour.
You can take longer, sis.
Oh, sure, you take an hour, Mom.
Thank you, son.
Gee, how come Uncle Larry made him a producer and me just an extra?
Be quiet. We're all eating, aren't we?
This here is what they call a back lot, Uncle Jed.
Nice open country.
How will we know when we get to where our town is gonna be? Reckon we'll see some of them architect fellas working, huh, Pa?
Reckon so. Mr. Drydale said he's had a bunch of them working on this project for some time.
Sure hope they got the brush cleared away.
Look, yonder's some buildings. Looks like a whole town.
You reckon it's ours?
Must be. I don't see nothing else around.
Them architects sure been a-working.
Looks kind of old-fashioned to me.
Just the kind of town I like.
Pull up and step, Jethro. Let's see what we got.
This here's gonna be Granny Boulevard.
Shucks, Granny, this street ain't nothing but dirt, just like back home.
Well, the sidewalks is just like back home, too, made out of boards.
Even the stores and houses is like back home.
Except there ain't as many trace for my critters.
Uncle Jed, can I drive around and see maybe there's another town?
If you wanna.
I'll go with you, Jethro.
Come on, Ellie. Bye.
Bye now.
I'm glad it looks like back home. I've been missing a place like this.
You know, Granny, I bet you that's why Mr. Drysdale had them architect fellas to build it this way. He knew it would please you.
You ain't fooling me, Jed Clampett. I can see that it pleases you, too.
It does for a fact, Granny. You know, it seems like people is friendlier in little towns like this.
Of course they are. Not standoffish like them highfalutin folks of Beverly Hills.
I kind of get the feeling you'd rather live here than in the mansion.
Oh, Jed, could we?
I don't see why not. It's our town.
Hallelujah! We'll get us the nicest bunch of neighbors that ever borrowed a cup of sorghum.
All right, let's try a run-through before the crew gets back. Did Uncle Larry send me some more extras?
Yeah, there are two sitting over on the porch at the hotel around the corner.
Poor people for Dodge City. Oh, well, are they in costume?
Yeah.
Yeah, give them all guns and fill them in on what to do. Now, here's the new ending we came up with at lunch. You're headed for the hotel. The people are shooting at you, but that doesn't stop you. Mom comes out, starts beating on you. You knock her down, walk right over, right on into the hotel, and you start to tear the place apart.
Fine hotel. Ain't one room in the whole place.
Well, I reckon maybe them architect fellas just ain't had time to finish it. Give us something to do.
Look, Jed, here come some folks.
Well, our first settlers. Doggie's Granny looked to me like that man a toting gun.
Hope we ain't got troublemakers right off the bat.
Soon find out. Howdy, folks. Welcome to town.
Hi, here's a gun for you. Here's one for you. Here's yours, Mom.
Thanks, son.
What do we need these for?
Well, shoot the monster. Creature from Yucca Flats.
Why do we want to do that?
To keep him from coming into town.
Well, now, hold on. Granny and me were just having a talk about that. We aim for this to be the kind of a town where folks is friendly and neighborly.
Jed.
A town where everybody's welcome.
Jed.
What is it, Granny?
Look, a coming.
Wait. Sure grew 'em tall over the Yucca Flats.
Tall and ugly.
Now, hold on, ma'am. I grant you he might not be your first choice for a moonlight hayride, but that ain't no call to go shooting at him, especially his first trip to town. Why, a good hot bath and a nice... He too is just downright mean.
Look, Jed. They're going after him tooth and nail.
Well, they ain't making him feel a bit welcome.
Uh-oh. They got his dander up now.
Howdy, stranger. How are things in Yucca Flat? I don't blame you for being a mite riled, but on behalf of Granny and me, I want you to know that you're welcome in Clampett City.
Yeah, we hope you'll be...
Let's get out of here, Granny. You think he's mad now? Wait till he finds out there ain't no rooms in that hotel.